All right, good evening, everybody. Ready for the recognition? We're going to start recognitions before we do city council. And today, it is truly an honor to be here before you and recognize a distinguished educator and leader whose lifelong dedication has helped shape the future of thousands of students in our community. Roberto Bobby Santos. Let's give him a hand of applause. He served 38 years in the United Independent Schools District, including 16 years as superintendent, making him the district's longest-serving superintendent. Throughout his career, he worked tirelessly to strengthen educational opportunities for the children of Laredo. Under his leadership, UISD experienced responsible and needed growth in services, including the construction of new campuses to serve our expanding community and the development of innovative programs such as early college initiatives, magnet schools, and Cherish Center. His commitment to education, students, teachers, and families helped elevate the standards of learning and opportunity across our city. I had the pleasure of working with Mr. Santos when I was the health authority, and Mr. Santos was a pillar of wisdom. He guided us through one of the most challenging times in modern history during the early days of COVID-19 and during the pandemic, ensuring that education continued, that students remained supported by a time of uncertainty. In recognition to his decades of leadership, service, and lasting impact on educational landscape of Laredo, it is my great privilege on behalf of the city of Laredo and its residents to present Roberto J. Bobby Santos with the key to the city, a symbol of our gratitude, respect, and appreciation for his commitment to our community. Ladies and gentlemen, please join me in congratulating Robert J. Bobby Santos. If you'd like to say a couple of words.
Sure. Again, I want to thank Mayor and, of course, City Council really for leading our community. I think now's the time for all of us to come together in a very tiring part of our country and in the date of what's going on in the nation. Again, I want to thank you, Mayor, for recognizing me as really part of my community, born and raised here, and eventually will be died here. Yeah. Again, thank you very much.
Right now, what happened with Carmen? Okay, ready? All right, 1, 2. 1, 2. Cool. Thank you.
One more, Chair.
Excuse me. Oh, 2 more. Ready? 1, 2, 3.
All right. 1, 2, 3. Very good.
Can we have the family, please? Que se ponga la esposa de There you go. Just get closer. Ready? 1, 2, 3. Thank you. All right, right here. 1, 2. Thank you.
All right, one more. Okay, ready? 1, 2, 3.
Thank you.
There you go. All right.
Yes, we're good, Mark.
We will be right back at 5:30 to start city council meeting. Call the meeting to order. City of Laredo regular council meeting, 1110 Houston Street, Laredo, Texas, March the 16th, 2026, 5:30 p.m. All stand for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Texas pledge. Honor the Texas flag. I pledge allegiance to thee, Texas, one state, under God, one and indivisible. Moment of silence, please. Thank you. You may be seated. Mr. Secretary, roll call, please.
Yes, Mayor. Honorable Mayor, Dr. Victor D. Trevino,
Present.
Honorable Mayor Pro Tem and Council Member District 1, Gilbert Gonzalez. Honorable Council Member District 2, Ricardo Richie Rangel Jr. Honorable Council Member District 3, Melissa Cigarroa.
Present.
Honorable Council Member District 4, Ricardo Rick Garza.
I'm here.
Honorable Council Member District 5, Ruben Gutierrez Jr.
Present.
Honorable Council Member District 6, Dr. Tyler King.
Here.
Honorable Council Member District 7, Vanessa Perez.
Here.
Honorable Council Member District 8, Alisa Cigarroa.
Present.
Mayor, you have a quorum.
Thank you.
Mayor, motion to excuse the member missing from council.
Motion second, all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed, motion passes.
Mayor, motion to approve the minutes of January 16, 2026, February 11, 2026, February 17, 2026, and February 26, 2026.
So moved.
Motion second, all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed, motion passes. We'll move to do the recognitions. We have quite a bit of people here waiting. Before we do the citizens' comments, we'll proceed with the recognitions. Yes, we'll add that one too. All right, we're gonna start with Adolfo Popo Gonzalez. Is a retired educator and Texas Army National Guard veteran whose life has been defined by service to his country and community. After 39 years of military service, he retired in 2007 as a Master Sergeant, First Sergeant, while also dedicating 36 years to education, shaping the lives of young people in Laredo. He was also a classmate with me in high school. Following his military career, Mr. Gonzalez continues his commitment to supporting services and service members and veterans. He has served as chairman of the Area 13 for the Employer Support of the Guard and Reserve, ESGR, representing Webb, Zapata, and Maverick counties, advocating for the rights of service members and strengthening relationship between employees and the military. In recognition to his dedication, he was named ESGR Volunteer of the Year in 2006 and later received Presidential Citation for volunteer service. Gonzalez has also played a key role in the Webb County Veterans Coalition, helped organize the Veterans Museum, and has long been active in organizations supporting veterans and the broader community. For his decades of leadership, advocacy, and unwavering commitment to those who have served our nation, Adolfo Popo Gonzalez is recognized with the Veterans Community Service Award. Congratulations. And we'd like to hear a few words from Popo.
Thank you. It makes me feel very proud to have so many, okay, of my fellow veterans, my family that's here also coming in from Zapata. So I appreciate all of the time and the effort that you have done. It has been 30 years with the ESGR helping out on, started in 18 showing my age, 1996, okay, all the way now to 2026. So it's been 30 years working and helping out, and it doesn't bother me. My wife would tell me when I retired 7, 8 years ago, she said, "You're not working anymore. Why do you have to get up?" Because I do a lot of volunteer service in different organizations with the food bank, okay, with veterans, anytime Red Shirt Friday veterans over here, with LULAC, and so keep active. And that's the main thing. As long as you keep active, you'll be able to survive. Thank you.
Let's go back here, take a picture. La familia, get your family.
Congratulations, thank you so much.
I just need to pick up the text a little bit. No, it gets lost. No, you want to? Yeah. Can some of you guys get over here to this thing? Yeah. Can you want to move to this thing? There you go. All right, guys, right here. 1, 2. Thank you. One more. Be 1, 2, 3. Ready? 1, 2, 3.
Perfect, thank you, man. Congratulations. Good job. Good job, family.
Mr. Gonzalez, we're going to bring the veterans to take a picture with you. Yes. The veterans are going to come take a picture as well. Me marque, vamos a hacer los veteranos. Sí.
Gentlemen, thank you guys.
Yeah. Fine with me? Okay, y'all move back. Move back, please. There you go. Oh.
No picture, right?
You want it to take forever?
No, we're good. Yeah, we're good. We're good. Oh, no, you don't want to. Can we have you all go up there?
Oh, yes, thank you. Come up with us.
The younger ones.
Randy.
Hey, we'll get the younger ones up here.
Oh, okay.
Hi, sir. How are you? Good, sir. How are you?
Family, bro. One that can still walk. Guys, please, right? I'll stay in the background, guys.
No, no, no.
Okay, ready?
Ready, guys?
1, 2, 3. One more. Ready? 1, 2, 3. Right here.
There we go. 1, 2, 3. Perfect.
One more, one more. 1, 2, 3.
You got it.
All right, everybody right here. 1, 2. Thank you. Let me try from this.
Suck it in, guys, one more time.
All right, 1, 2. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, gentlemen. Ladies. Man, how are you? Good to see you, Mama. Good to see you. Ya mero, ya mero.
We're gonna do. Where is he?
Right there with the, you see with the striped shirt, he's
Oh, this one. Yes, yes, yes. Oh, it's good. Mayor, we're gonna do this one. We're gonna do number 6, Mayor. Oh, but it goes to this side. So we're gonna read that and then comment right here. Sí, ya están aquí. So let's do. This is my agenda, Mayor. So let's just do this one. Yeah, number 6. This one is part of number 6, but can we recognize him separately? Because he's the one that's in the wheelchair behind. Just let me know what. Okay, yes, I'm sorry. So right now
Yeah, I mean.
All right, we'll proceed with recognitions. City of Laredo Mayor and Council recognizes the adapted running and walking team composed of athletes with autism and Down syndrome for their outstanding participation in the runaway 5K and 1 mile walk on January 31st, 2026. The team was created to provide individuals with disabilities the opportunity to enjoy sports, build confidence, and actively engage in the community through their inclusive athletic activities. The mayor and council also extend their sincere appreciation to the dedicated runners, guides who participated alongside the athletes and selflessly setting aside their personal race goal to provide support, encouragement, and guidance, helping ensure that every adapted athlete has the opportunity to cross the finish line and share in the accomplishment of the event. Congratulations.
Mayor, I think we should go back there. Let's go back to get a picture.
Congratulations, y'all.
But who's the one that's working? Oh yeah, I'll take it. I'll take it right now.
Austin Avila, congratulations.
You give it out there.
Asaya Andrade, congratulations, Asaya. Congratulations. Agustín Serna. Isabela Alvarez. Héctor Montoya. Leonardo Castro. José Luis Rodríguez. Roxana Sáenz. Kevin Martinez. Daniel Galvan. Adrián Cázares.
I think that's it.
Yeah, we'll just hold it, because I think that's all that's here, yeah.
There you go.
Yes.
Jenny,
Robert Guy,
where's your-
Sonia Torres.
Oh, this one?
Ronald Guy, Jose Moya. Thank you. Ronald Guy, Stephanie Avila. Thank you so much, Stephanie. Cristina Garza. Thank you so much, Cristina. Okay, Dominic, thank you.
Okay, ready? 1, 2, 3.
Everybody over here?
Hold on, give me one more minute. Ready? 1, 2, 3. There you go.
All right, everybody right here? 1, 2. Thank you.
Yeah, one more. Okay, sorry, one more. Yeah. Ready? 1, 2, 3. Perfect. We're good, man. Jenny, I'm gonna hold your phone right after them.
All right, we have one more recognition, and it is part of the group, yes. Mayor and City Council hereby recognizes Jonathan Ruiz Jr., Parks Department Recreation Specialist, in recognition of being the first ever wheelchair participant in the adaptive division to successfully complete the Runaway Run 5K on January 31st, 2026. Your determination, perseverance, and inspiring achievement have made history and service an example of strength, inclusion, and excellence within our community. March 16, 2026, congratulations. Want to say a couple of words?
thank you guys for recognizing me for the city of Laredo. I didn't know I was gonna talk today. But yeah, it was a good race. I was excited for it. I have High Rocks coming up in 2 weeks. So if you guys know what High Rocks is, that's even more difficult, competitive than just a 5K. So I'm excited about that and hope to see how I do. Thank you.
You want to go back to certificate?
Mayor, I also want to comment just briefly on our Parks and Rec department, our Parks and Recreation department, and the adaptive programming that has occurred because of the vision of Jenny Sanchez and Jonathan Ruiz and their assistants. I don't want to, not include anyone, but this direction the Parks and Recreation Department has had follows with what Public Health Department has done. It's about inclusion. It's all minds, all together. We are stronger together, and we want to recognize and give opportunities to everyone in our community. So thank you so much for Parks and Rec for taking the leadership role that you have, and we're excited to see the new opportunities as they come.
All right, everybody, right here. 1, 2.
Ready, 1, 2, 3. One more. 1, 2, 3. Right here. One more. Okay. 3, 2. We're good, man. Let me get you the certificate.
Yes. Adelante. Next recognition. City of Laredo Mayor and Council recognize Walmart Store 554 for being named 2026 Division I Hometown Store of the Year. Congratulations. Any words from somebody? Who wants to say the words?
I wasn't planning on saying a speech, but my store manager, Miss Elena, is on vacation this week, but we're here accepting the award on her behalf, right, of all the associates. We were excited and surprised to have won this recognition with our region. It's not only for our division, but it's our region as well. Many of y'all know the Walmart San Bernardo store does not have fruits, vegetables, and meat, so we're up against other competitors, right? But it takes a lot to win Store of the Year. So we have one of the best retention for our associates in Laredo and for our Walmarts. So we have associates who have been there for 40 years. So we have about 3. So, we have a lot, and we have a lot that's been there for over 30 years too. So it's nice to see that those associates. It's nice for us to be recognized by the city of Laredo with this outstanding award that we got. Thank you.
You want me to take? Yeah. There you go. Ready, 1, 2, 3. Ready, 1, 2, 3. Perfect. One more. All right, 1, 2. Thank you. If you want to exit that way, please. Thank you.
Next recognition. City of Laredo Mayor and City Council recognize Harmony School of Excellence Mighty Hawks Robotics Team and John B. Alexander High School Hot Dogs Robotics Team and John B. Alexander High School Chili Dogs Robotics Team. Yes. And the Dr. Leo Cigarroa High School Chaos Robotics Team for advancing to the World Championships. Congratulations.
Let's go back in so we can flip. We're gonna do by teams. This is Harmony. Okay.
Yeah, we'll start with the Harmony team. Any words from anybody? The leader here? Yeah, okay.
I just want to say thank you so much to everyone who has played a role in our advancement. We are so thankful to our community, to our parents, especially our coach, who has dedicated so much of his time in teaching us and mentoring us and allowing us to get to this level. So thank you so much, and we hope to make y'all proud.
All right, guys, right here. 1, 2. Thank you. 1 more. Please, couldn't. There you go. Ready? 1, 2, 3. Thank you. Right here, guys, please. 1, 2. Thank you. If y'all want to exit that way, please.
Here's the other team. Okay, ready? They're Alexander High School hot dogs.
Alexander Hot Dogs. All right, these are the Alexandra hot dogs. That's why they have the flames. Principal, a few words, please.
Good afternoon, good evening, everybody. I'm Rosana Arizola, proud principal of Alexander High School, and this is our robotics team who are going to state under the direction of Mr. Medina. A big congratulations. They've done a great job under his direction and going all the way to state. It's difficult to do in any of these programs. And so shout out to all of our campuses, all the campuses that are here representing going to state, but a big shout out especially to our kiddos at Alexander High School. We're extremely proud of all of them. Thank you.
Few words? You want to say a few words?
I don't want people behind Mayor in this spot.
Oops, sorry, man.
Hello, we are Hot Dogs. We are the varsity competitive robotics team at John B. Alexander High School. We would like to extend a big thank you to the mayor and the city council for honoring us with this recognition. We would also like to say a big thank you to the family members of the Hot Dogs for their support and to our sponsors, the donations of Witty Up, Gene Haas, American Electric Power, IM4 Transportation, NI Emerson, Unitech Business Solutions, Polymaker, DA Transportation LLC, Falcon Bank, Pilot Company, and Go Builda for their support during the season. Our season started in around September, and it's definitely been a journey, and we've put a lot of hard work through the bumps in the road, but thanks to all the support we've received, we've been able to persevere and keep going. It's definitely been hard, but we're so proud of ourselves, and we are going to the World Championship for the second time in a row. And And this achievement just shows our determination to live up to our club motto of everlasting improvement. Last year, we were the only club to take home an award from World Championship, and this year we hope to surpass ourselves and keep making Laredo and South Texas proud. Thank you.
right here with me. Ready, 1, 2, 3. Thank you. Right over here. Over here, guys. If y'all want to come to the middle. 1, 2. Thank you. Right here in the middle. You want to move closer?
Thank you.
Okay. We're good. Huh? Oh, parents? Yeah, can we have the parents go in there? Yep, yeah, go ahead. Or can we have you all up there, please? Is there any more parents? You want to go up there? Yeah. Yeah. Okay, parents, ready? You want to come on?
No, I'm good, thank you.
Okay, ready? 1, 2, 3. One more. Ready? 1, 2, 3. There you go. Right here, guys. 1, 2. We're good, right? If y'all want to exit that way, please. Let's wait for the pen. We're waiting for the pen. I don't know whose phone this is. I think that's what his phone. That guy in black. Sir. Go ahead. Do you want to do it?
Yeah, I'll do it over here. Might as well stay over here. Next recognition. Mayor and City Council hereby recognizes John B. Alexander High School Chili Dogs Robotics Team. In recognition of advancing to the World Championships, dated March 16, 2026. Congratulations.
Can you guys scoot in a little? Yeah, you're good. All right, 1, 2. All right, thank you. Okay, ready? 1, 2, 3. Thank you. And then parents, if you want to get here in the middle, go ahead.
Go ahead, yeah. And Mike, I've got Mike, brother.
So, hello everybody. To begin this speech, I'd like to start by saying how difficult a season it's been for us. Though we've had several years of experience, this is our first year together as a team, and it's been quite a challenge to come together and get as far as we have. I will say that for us, it's been exhausting. We've spent hours working on our robot, hours working on our programming, hours working on just communicating with each other as a team. It's been very, very challenging, but it's also been very rewarding. My goal and my team's goal has always been to make it to Worlds, to succeed and to just succeed over everyone's expectations, right? No one, as a first-year team, no one expected us to make it this far. No one had really expected us to make it to Worlds. And we're so happy that we've had the ability to do this. And I want to thank the Laredo City Council for acknowledging us, and I'd like to thank our sponsors, Women's City Club, Polymaker, IBC Bank, Emerson, and AGT Express for making this possible. While making it to Worlds, I'm happy to show, or I'd really like to show that Laredo is full of leaders and innovators, not just from one school, not just from one club, but from everyone here. Laredo is full of leaders and innovators that can really change the world if we put our minds to it.
Ladies and gentlemen, if you just want to leave your resumes and application, it'll be a 4-year timestamp. You'll be back in 2030 ready to work, right? Perfect. Okay. Very good.
The parents, if you go in, if y'all want to go up there.
Thank you.
Good job,
I'm the
kids.
proud mom.
Wonderful job. Wonderful. Great to meet you.
Okay, right here. Ready? 1, 2. 1, 2, 3. Thank you.
All right, right here. 1, 2. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you
Thank
very
you all
much.
again, guys. Congratulations.
Parents, if you want to exit that way, please. The last one,
It is. It is.
You want to go out to the camera?
Oh, just your name? That's all.
All right, next recognition. Mayor and City Council hereby recognizes Dr. Leo Cigarroa High School Chaos Robotic Team in recognition of advancing to the World Championship. Congratulations. All right. Yeah. Who's going to say the words? Your? Okay.
Who? Oh, I suck. Hello, everyone. I just want to say thank you for coming here and showing us your support and love for Laredo's teams and excuse me. But I just want to say thank you for coming in and showing love and support for not just only us, but everyone that you saw, everyone that came. It's all about love and support. And I also.
Is there any parents here?
All right, everybody right here. 1, 2. All right, thank you.
One more. Ready? 1, 2, 3. Thank you.
Congratulations.
One more.
Thank you, guys.
3, 2. Thank you.
If Councilmember Rangel were here, he would absolutely tell you how proud he is of South Laredo, and thank you for making that come true. And we're supporting you 100%.
Congratulations, Lilo. Great job, guys.
Congratulations.
They already have the certificate.
Okay. All right, next recognition. City of Laredo Mayor and City Council recognize the John B. Alexander high school swimming and diving athletes who competed at the UIL 6A State Meet in Austin, Texas. Congratulations. Let's go back here so we can take a picture. Congratulations. 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 Let's go back there. Okay. And Coach, maybe you want to say a couple of words?
Good evening, community of Laredo. I want to thank you all very much for being here. My name is Claudia de la Cruz. I am the swimming coach for J.B. Alexander High School. We're here to present, recognize, and acknowledge these wonderful, outstanding athletes that dedicate their time, their community service to our Laredoans, and most of all, the love and passion that they have for swimming and diving. We've got Ana Lucia and Avery here that qualified for diving, and we have Anali Gutierrez for swimming. You know, when you get out of the Laredo community to compete at the state level, physically, it's a challenge. But you know what? They are more than deserving, and I want to thank you all very much, and City Council, Mayor, for having us here this evening. Thank you.
Can you all open your certificate, please? Your recognition? There you go. Can you guys scoot in a little more, please? All right, 1, 2. Thank you. Ready, 1, 2, 3. Perfect. One more. You want to go in?
Go, 3, 2.
We have one more. We're good, Mayor.
All right. Next recognition. City of Laredo Mayor and City Council recognize Fernando J. Góngora Gaitán for his outstanding dedication, hard work, and unwavering commitment over the past 20 years of service to the City of Laredo. He is retiring March the 30th. Thank you for your service and congratulations. ¿Algunas palabras?
No, estoy agradecido de que pues, me dieron la satisfacción de trabajar aquí durante 20 años, pero me retiro por necesidades en la casa, en el hogar. Tengo que cuidar a mi señora y a mi hija. Gracias.
Felicidades. Vamos a parar.
Mr. Chief.
Mayor, if I may? Just before the pictures, I just want to let everybody know, this gentleman standing here before you is one of the hardest working people you'll see here at City Hall. This gentleman has dedicated a long, long time away from his family, dedicated to the City of Laredo. He deserves a huge, huge round of applause. This gentleman is working hard every single day.
You know, I haven't got to work with him as much as everybody else has, and so it's really hard for me to say all those things, but I know he's here when I get here, and I know he's here when I leave. And so he's always there working in there. He takes care of us very, very well. And I'm gonna go right along those lines. Thank you so much for everything that you're doing. We appreciate everybody sharing you with us as well too, your family and all. So thank you. I don't know if anybody.
Yes, thank you. I'd like to say something in Spanish also that muchísimas gracias, Mr. Góngora, por todo el trabajo, todo el éxito que ha tenido. Nos ha ayudado bastante como ciudad aquí apoyándonos. I want to thank him for all the dedication, all the hard work that he's put in throughout the years. And you will be missed, and we appreciate your service to the city and to our department especially. Thank you very much and much success.
Muchísimas gracias.
I'd just like to say one thing. El señor Góngora Gaitán, tantas gracias por todo, su sonrisa, su actitud tan buena, sea serviente para nosotros. Es increíble el amistad, no, the joy, felicidad que trae a su trabajo y también a este edificio. Tantas gracias.
All right, everybody right here. 1, 2. Ready? 1, 2, 3. Sonríe, Mr. Góngora. Thank you. Oh, one more. Mr. Góngora, aquí está la cabina.
Yes. Next recognition. Recognition of city officials for the selection and participation in the Bloomberg Leadership Program. These include Joseph W. Nib, City Manager, Vanessa Perez, District 7 Council Member, Steve E. Landin, Assistant City Manager, Jose A. Valdez, Junior Assistant City Manager. Congratulations to everybody.
And Mayor Victor D. Treviño also.
Can you guys move a little bit more this way? Yeah, we're good. All right, 1, 2. 1, 2, 3. Thank you. Ready? 1, 2, 3. We're good. We're good.
We're going to do number 7. But before we go, I can read them. Yeah.
And there's a message in the back. Thanks from your leadership. Keep on doing the work, good work. Michael Bloomberg. Next recognition. City of Laredo Mayor and Council recognize Leslie Garcia for her outstanding participation in the annual conference of the Highgate Hotels, where top honors were awarded in the categories of Greatest Growth, Best Service Score, Hotel of the Year, and Leader of the Year. Congratulations.
Here to represent her on the parents. The parents are representing.
Okay, the parents are represented. Come on down, please. Pasamos para allá para sacar una foto. Acá son para las fotos. Allá.
Bueno, buenas tardes a todos. Y antes que nada, pues a nombre de mi hija, que no pudo estar presente en este importante momento, pues quiero agradecer a la ciudad de Laredo, al Cabildo Mayor, por este reconocimiento que hacen a mi hija, a Leslie. Rápidamente les quiero comentar, hace 8 años que ella entró como gerente general del Hotel Hampton Inn, que está aquí en Laredo. Ese hotel estaba a punto de perder la firma de Hilton, porque el hotel no estaba en condiciones para seguir operando como tal. Después del trabajo de mi hija, hace 2 años, el mayor, su esposa, tuvieron a bien estar en la reinauguración del hotel, dado que el trabajo que hizo Leslie valió la pena para que la compañía, una compañía de más de 500 hoteles a lo largo de todo el país, decidiera darle el apoyo. Y bueno, la razón de que Leslie no está con nosotros el día de hoy es porque la compañía también la mandó llamar a Corpus Christi, donde iban a abrir una nueva propiedad, y la llevaron para que entrenara al nuevo gerente general de ese hotel. Entonces, para nosotros es un orgullo muy grande. Ella es graduada de aquí de Laredo, nacida aquí en Laredo, y bueno, haciendo mucho por su ciudad. Gracias. Oscar es el hijo de Leslie.
Grant, can we scoot over? Let's back up, por favor. There you go.
Ready? 1, 2, and 3.
Ready, 1, 2, 3.
One more. All right, 1, 2. Thank you.
That'll be it for the recognition, but we will proceed with item 121, presentation by representatives of the Laredo Pantry de la Comunidad regarding their organization nonprofit efforts, community services, and future goals to support residents of the Laredo community.
I think they're going to have a quick presentation for council, and then we'll take it. Do you want to do the presentation? Do you want to start with
Thank you, Mayor. I wanted to say a few words, and amongst all the extraordinary individuals that were recognized tonight, we wanted also to highlight this remarkable group of young leaders who are making a real difference right here in Laredo. And their student-led organization is called the Laredo Pantry de la Comunidad, which has been established in January of 2026. And we have Alex Moreno, Sofia Castellanos, and Bertina Villarreal here to share a presentation of the work that they're doing.
Okay. Thank you so much, Ms. Cigarroa.
Good evening. My name is Martina Villarreal. I am a proud sophomore in United High School and most importantly, a proud founder of our nonprofit organization, Laredo Pantry de la Comunidad. A few years ago, I went on a trip to Mexico City with some family members. I went to some of the richest parts where you expect to see perfection, but instead, I saw countless amounts of poverty. My family and I went to a mall and saw this little kid asking strangers for money. And instead of giving him money, my uncle asked him what he wanted from inside of the mall. And the little kid said a toy car. We bought him a huge pack of Hot Wheels, and when we gave them to him, I have never seen such a pure smile. He ran to show his mom and immediately started playing with his toys, and that's when I knew that helping people and seeing a smile on their faces is the most beautiful thing to ever experience. This organization came to be on a random November evening on a FaceTime call with thousands of unanswered questions, but one mutual goal, to help others. We all chose our roles, and mine is to administer anything that is behind the scenes, all the donations, all the money that we have received through countless of donations, and to know everything is in check and organized for events like this one. What I seek for the future of this organization is to expand to every district of Laredo. Our first pantry at John Valls has been a tremendous success, and we hope our recent installment at Stoddard Park, thanks to Councilwoman Alisa Segarroa and Esmeralda Estrada, we will help as much people as needed. We know somebody in every part of our city needs help, and these pantries will be a true blessing for everybody. We are proud to say we have over 50 volunteers, countless amounts of food donations, and we hope this organization to reach its full potential to help hundreds of our beloved community. This organization has been the ride of my life, and I get to do it with two of my best friends. I've known Sofia since 2nd grade, and she's been like a sister to me, and we have experienced our whole lives together. And on my first day of middle school, I heard a hysterical laugh that belonged to Alex, and I knew then we would become best friends. All three of us have shared dreams, goals, and aspirations. We wish to achieve and accomplish every day, and it is my greatest joy to be able to do it with some of my favorite people. I want to thank everybody for the immense amount of support from our families who help and guide us in every step of the way, and our friends who have volunteered and stepped up to make this youth-led organization begin. And we hope to gain the support of you, our fellow council members, and especially yours, our mayor, Dr. Trevino. Thank you so much to everybody who made this amazing project and opportunity happen. God bless you, and we hope Laredo Pantry becomes an organization for everybody in our community.
Good evening. My name is Sofia Castellanos, and I'm a sophomore at United High School. Today I stand here amongst my best friends, and we will discuss our newly made nonprofit organization, Laredo Pantry de la Comunidad. It all started on a random day in November when Alex FaceTimed Martina and I. We had a conversation about issues we noticed in our community. We all shared moments that forever changed our perspective in life. I brought up a memory when I was in 4th grade. I remember standing in line at Walmart watching a mother with her young son. I overheard her quietly apologizing to him as she asked the cashier to move items because she couldn't afford them all. That image of her face, the struggle of a parent just trying to provide, never left me. Even then, I felt a deep ache wishing I could do something. That night that we were on FaceTime, Alex voiced what we had all been feeling. It was time to move from discussion to action. We realized we all shared the same goal, to provide stability for those who need it. At the moment, the three of us weren't just best friends, we became partners in a mission. We are committed to this organization. We strive for a change. Our mission goes beyond just these pantries. We want to show our peers that you don't have to wait till you're older to make an impact. You don't need a huge budget or a fancy title to change someone's life. All you really need is heart and compassion. We saw this firsthand in the beginning of January when we hosted our first pantry build. We weren't sure what to expect, but when we saw so many other teens showing up ready to help, we were ignited. We know our generation isn't just waiting for the future. We are ready to build a better one right now. In this organization, we each play an important role. My role is a social media manager. I control all our online platforms and promote ideas in different ways, such as making flyers, sharing updates on pantry installations and food drives, and promoting donation opportunities. I highlight the impact of our work through posts. My purpose is to encourage community involvement. All in all, as a student and a community member, I believe that everyone deserves stability and support. Laredo Pantry is built on that belief. I am incredibly proud of what our community has helped us accomplish. Thank you for your time and thank you for your continued dedication in serving our city.
Thank you.
Good evening. My name is Alex Moreno, and I'm a sophomore at United High School. My teacher slash mentor, Mr. Senia Soto, that is watching me from the broadcast right now, told me to speak from the heart. So here it goes. During many speaking events, I often say the saying, if you want the rainbow, you gotta put up with the rain. And this is a quote that we abide by. This is our slogan for our Take What You Need and Give What You Can, Laredo Pantry organization. Life is hard, and we all see it. Sometimes we fall, and we have disagreements all the time. But once you get that ache in your stomach, that's how you know you feel right. You must do something about it, because that's how you truly serve others. Once you serve others with a common goal like how we found, you have the right of your life. And Ms. Yesenia Soto had told me, if you were to block out all the noise from the world, from the commotion that is going on, you'll find peace, and you'll focus on a common goal, and you'll set your heart to it. I want to thank many people that have supported us along the way, because without them, we wouldn't be at the moment that we are right now. I want to thank our first meeting that we had with Mr. Tomas Ramirez and Ms. Anita Stanley, that are watching from a distance right here. We felt ache to our stomachs as we were first presenting to them. The office, you should have seen, it was huge. And as a surprise for us, it was just so honorable to see people support us along the way. Moving on from them, we had the support of the people, our volunteers that we had mentioned before, from United High School, and from many countless people from around the city, teens like us, and that's who we are representing. Because we don't have to wait till we are ordered to make a change. We're already making the change right here. I want to thank Ms. Alisa Cigarroa and Ms. Esmeralda Estrada for supporting us along this journey. With our first pantry at John Balls and our second pantry recently installed at Slaughter Park, we know you can count on us and change many lives out here in Laredo, Texas. Because this is where we're born, and this is where we will rise from. We will hope to receive the amount of support from our council members that are standing among us today, from our mayor, and from, of course, the people around us that are looking at us from a distance, and from the live broadcast. Thank you so much, everyone that is here to listen to us. We have a brochure that we will talk about how you guys can support us. We'll go along passing around some brochures that we have here to the district members, and we'll have some copies that we will pass out with Mrs. Esmeralda Estrada to the public. Thank you so much all for supporting us and for hearing us out. It means a lot.
Mayor, did we want to take a picture? Because we're also, yes, just with their recognition as well.
Thank you. Thank you, appreciate it.
All right, everybody, 1, 2. Thank you. One more. Right here, ready? 1, 2, 3. Thank you.
1, 2, 3.
Let's go. 3, 2.
Can we have the family, please?
Yeah.
Family?
Dad.
We'll make it happen, Rodrigo. Yeah, he did. One more. Ready? 1, 2, 3. Thank you.
Everybody over here? 1, 2.
Good job, y'all.
3, 2.
Good job. Congratulations. Thank you, guys. Appreciate it. You know, great job speaking. Great job. Anytime. Wonderful job. I loved you up there. You did a great job, honey. Congratulations, guys. Yeah, he's got it right there. Okay. Man, congratulations. Great job with him. Great job with him. Okay. Okay. Here's, I'll bring up your eye.
We will be having brochures for the public out in the front. If you guys wish to support us, we'll have a QR code for our Cash App and for our GoFundMe. Thank you so much, everyone.
All right. Mayor, if I may, I'd like to bring up item 105B, your item, Mayor, and 114 in that order.
Second.
Motion second, all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion passes. Start with 105B. Discussion with possible, this is 105, discussion with possible action regarding collaboration with the Office of Congressman Cuellar on potential federal partnership projects, including, we'll start with B, establishment of a Veterans Recreational Center. I brought this item forward after the meeting with Congressman Cuellar and the proposed earmark that the congressman would be willing to advocate to provide a location on the city land that would be a location to provide the services and needs desperately needed for our veterans. We had another meeting this morning with the VFW, local veterans, city staff, and representatives from Henry Cuellar's office. This was an important step in identifying the needs of the veteran community and exploring ways that the city can support a potential veteran center in Laredo. During the discussion, veterans expressed that some of the key gaps in services include the need for a centralized location where veterans can access assistance with benefits, navigation of mental health resources, peer support, and connections to federal and local veteran services. Many veterans indicated that while services exist, they often are scattered and difficult to navigate, especially for older veterans or those who need or newly transitioning from military service. I like the idea and emphasize that bringing veteran services together in one accessible location near the VA hospital could help veterans more easily connect with the support they have earned throughout their service. This is one of several meetings, and the city plans to continue working collaboratively with Congressman Cuellar's office, the VFW, and other veteran organizations to gather input, explore funding opportunities such as federal grants and congressional earmarks, and identify the path forward to the development of Veterans Center. One of the most important takeaways from this meeting was the strong desire among the veteran community for a coordinated approach that ensures no veteran in Laredo falls through the cracks when seeking assistance. Our veterans serve the country with honor, and it is our responsibility as a community to ensure they have access to the resources, support, and the respect they deserve. Today's meeting was an important step in listening to our veterans and working together to find meaningful solutions. So my first motion would be to instruct management to come back with a location that they feel would be appropriate with these parameters, and also send the item for discussion to the Veterans Affairs Committee.
Second.
Second. Go ahead.
I think the discussion fully supportive of enhancing veterans care, and we never want to see a veteran fall through the crack. We have several veterans organizations, and so we want to make sure that all veterans organizations are included, and I believe the Veterans Affairs Committee does a good outreach to do that. There are also liaisons at Laredo College and at Texas A&M International University, and I hope that they will too be invited to participate in those discussions, because I think they can help with that coordinated effort to make sure all services are provided or acknowledged to all of the veterans in our community.
All right. Motion, there's a second, all in favor? Aye. Opposed? Motion passes. We will now go to 114.
Thank you, Mayor. And,
Go ahead.
thank you for co-sponsoring the item along with Councilmember Perez. This is an item near and dear to a lot of people's hearts up here, especially if you or your friends or family have someone with a child with autism. And I think we all know we have a lot of shortages in this community from a health perspective. One in particular that we have a pediatrician, Dr. Fernando Sosa, and an advocate, Mika Zeisman, who would like to make a presentation, or well, I don't know if it's in a PowerPoint or just oral presentation on the need for more applied behavior analysis, ABA therapy in our community, and how, along with the partnership with our health department and private partners, along with state, federal, county partners, how we can better recruit and bring these ABA services that have really long wait lists for our kids with autism having to go way out of town for ABA therapy. And a lot of times this therapy is very intensive and is sometimes Monday through Friday. It's not really something that can be done out of town as easily. And if it is, it'll be just once a week, and that's not what's needed. So I'll leave it to Dr. Sosa, who's here, and of course our health director, Dr. Richard Chamberlain, and just bringing the topic up together to figure out what we can do. Because as I understand, and this insurance companies actually does reimburse for ABA therapy quite well, so it's something that would not be, off the backs of all the. I'll let you go.
All right, go ahead and name for the record, please.
Mika Zeisman.
Thank you.
I do have, good evening, Mayor and council members. My name is Mika Zeisman. I am a parent of a child with autism, and I brought here today Dr. Sosa with me and some parents that we would like to discuss the possible ABA centers here in Laredo. It's actually, when a child receives an autism diagnosis, it can be very overwhelming and isolating. As a parent, you suddenly find yourself searching for answers, trying to understand what steps to take next, and wondering where to turn for help. Often here, there's no clear guidance in the city of Laredo, where to turn, where to go, who do I ask the questions to. So we resorted to searching online and reaching out to anyone. Just please help me out, because I don't know what this is. This is the first time of me dealing with it. So there is, I still feel like there's no clear path or guidance available here locally in the city. I apologize, I'm just very emotional about this subject. So, I work in the healthcare system, and navigating the system was extremely difficult for me. So I can only imagine how overwhelming this can be for people and the families who have no medical background. Based on the population data, there may be more than 2,000 children in Laredo who are on autism spectrum. Even though if only a small portion of these children require intensive therapy, hundreds of families in our community need access to services. No parent should feel alone while trying to help their child. This is why I'm here today, to ask how can we as a community can work together to improve access to autism services and support for families in Laredo. I believe that expanding resources such as therapy services, guidance for parents, and community support networks could make a meaningful difference for many families in our city. Thank you for your time, and I look forward to continuing the conversation about how can we support children and families in our local town. And I actually have here Dr. Sosa, who's going to present it as well, too.
I'm just going to say a couple words. I've been a pediatrician. Thank you, Mayor Trevino and Councilman, for allowing us to come.
Dr. Sosa, for the record, right?
Yes,
Thank
Dr.
you.
Sosa. I've been a pediatrician for 25 years, and like Mika said, you know, I see artistic kids every day. And, sorry, I also get emotional. But they're missing out on the critical therapy that they need, which is ABA, because ABA is proven to make these kids independent by the time they reach school age. So it's an essential part of their treatment, which we lack. We do have 2 centers. There's 2-year waiting list. Other cities, you know, they might have 3 months and so forth. So I did reach out to everybody. I'm supposed to meet with Senator Zaffirini, Henry Cuellar. I reached out to the health department. I reached to Tammy Yu. Everybody was interested. So I thank you for allowing us to talk. We just need to figure out how we're going to help these families who are in dire need of this therapy, which is crucial. So I guess I'll let.
Yeah.
Thank you, Dr. Sosa.
Thank you.
Dr. Richard Chamberlain, your public health, Laredo Public Health Director. I did want to mention to council and also to all the members in the room that on Friday we did publish our Autism Service and Action Barrier Report, specifically looking at the ABA therapies in Laredo, providing you updated data, providing you estimates on the total counts, providing you data from a survey that is ongoing right now in the community too. Each one of you as council members does have this survey there as part of the packet that I did leave for you. Also, you're able to share that as well. So we are able to collect more information from the members of our community about how are we doing and what do we need. And that specific report did let us know that many parents don't know where to turn, as mentioned right now, when they are told that they have a diagnosis or they need to pursue ABA therapy. And so with that, we did put together this report, which is there for council to review, with also a potential proposal as a pathway forward, not with City of Laredo solving the issue at hand, but being a contributor to the solution for increased access to ABA therapy in the community. And I'll pause there for any questions.
Yeah, Mayor?
Yes, go
And this is definitely something, as I mentioned, the city cannot do alone, and I'm glad you echoed that. We need all people on deck, so I'm glad you're meeting with Senator Zaffirini and other state representatives. It's also the discussion that the mayor's brought up as well about eventually having a hospital district in Webb County, which could bring more resources to something like this. But my question, perhaps for Dr. Sosa and for Dr. Chamberlain, are we seeing that if a patient can get into this off the wait list, will insurance generally cover it?
Generally, insurance, Medicaid, private insurance covers. So it shouldn't be, and my plan was to have nonprofits so we can grow and have several centers and be self-sufficient with the help of, Tammy Yu, which I think you already tapped in, and I reached out to them and they were very supportive.
Because
so
I have this is an informal conversation with a friend whose daughter is studying this master's and wants to come back to Laredo and start her own practice. And when we were looking at what the reimbursement looks quite appealing. So I'm wondering why, is it just there's just not enough of them in the state overall, and we need to attract them more?
You mean the therapists or you
like
mean the centers?
Yeah, these centers. I mean,
just because
from my understanding, get
nobody
reimbursed
has done it.
quite well.
Other cities, they have short waiting lists, like the Valley and San Antonio. It's just, we're behind. It's like, they're all private centers, so we don't have, I think Laredo has like 4 BCAs here. 4. That I personally know. And some of them work with advanced therapy from San Antonio. So, and she actually wants to open a center, but it just takes, some coordination. But I figured that we've been waiting so long, and us as pediatricians, we're frustrated because we can't give that therapy.
Well, I think a lot of the people that go into this master's are thinking they'll likely work for a nonprofit or a government or an agency, but in reality, they could open a private practice and do well financially. And it thinks maybe it's about recruiting that type of person who might be willing to come down. And I think a bank would be more than happy to give a loan out for a practice as such, because it's pretty much guaranteed to be successful. So I think
if we're a nonprofit or we generate nonprofits, we should have federal and state funds available.
And just like Gateway Community Health Center, that's an FQHC, they also see private patients, right?
Yes.
They love seeing patients with commercial insurance along with their, non-insured patients. So there would be a way to be a nonprofit, but also bring in revenue to cover the operations of things. So I think it's just a matter of getting.
The fact that the insurance pays for it, that should cover.
And then
overhead.
So LEDC has a healthcare committee, and the city has partnered with that subcommittee on Laredo Economic Development Corporation, and we've stated to the hospitals, to anyone in the community who wants assistance in recruiting a physician or any provider, health provider, for a critical need. We have not done it yet as a city council. We did pass a motion last year that we would be willing to help in recruitment bonuses, and we have not officially formalized that policy, but we did make that motion as a council. So that would be something whenever the time is right to come back to us, and if there's anything that legal says that we can do from a helping the recruitment aspect. I mean, we.
Well, I think Tammy, you can help in generating the BCAs or the BCBAs, the board certified behavioral analysts who run. And then the RBTs. So, we should do it in-house instead of recruiting, because every time we recruit, especially physicians, they leave.
Well, currently, we don't have a BCBA, which is a board certified behavioral analyst
Program.
master's or certificate here in the community.
In the entire community.
In the entire community. Are they accessible online? They are accessible online from Texas A&M at San Antonio and UTRGV in the Valley. But as mentioned by Dr. Sosa, I did ping the university with the provost and letting them know about the situation, letting them know that they do have an RBT, which is the Registered Behavioral Technician, which works underneath the BCBA to initiate the therapies. They do have that program here at TAMU. It's about $1,300 per individual to become certified. And that was part of my proposal through economic development, looking into the budget process to be able to fund 45, 50 RBTs through this next budget process. So we do have an applicant pool for BCBAs to come into Laredo and know I have 50 people to hire already from one day to the next. Let's turn this on.
Name for the record, please.
Sorry. I don't know if any of that was caught, but I was just explaining the difference between the BCBA.
Yeah, but name for the record.
Oh, Dr. Richard Chamberlain.
Thank you.
Yes, sir.
And are they, if you can make them acquainted also with the Autism Task Force as well, they meet monthly, right?
Well, we no longer have the specific autism task force, as they were a component of the Blue Ribbon Committee for Persons Living with Disabilities, which is we are inclusive of all persons living with disabilities. That committee does meet on a monthly basis, and this has been part of their discussions as well as we do have the All Kinds of Minds master plan, which this ABA element is being included as an additional piece of information for parents in the community to be able to access, to know where they can gain access to these services, aside from, of course, the ones that are online. The very limited number that we do have here for a brick and mortar in-person service, but that was the whole purpose of this discussion, to be able to drive that additional request for the workforce, which is on the economic development side, and then, of course, such as the council would wish, any small program at Laredo Public Health to help out as well.
Mayor, if I may, just to make a motion that if we have Dr. Chamberlain stay in contact with this group, and when they've met with the rest of the people they need to meet with, if you can bring us back any tangible actions that we as a city council can make, we'd appreciate that in a timely.
Second. Motion second. All in favor?
Aye.
Both motion passes.
Thank you so much.
Mayor, if I may.
Yes, go ahead.
Motion to go into executive session for item 100 and number 8.
I'll second for discussion.
To meet with attorneys that are here from out of town with a presentation discussion regarding the border wall and environmental impacts. If I may, Mayor, Zone, can you explain to the public why we need to go to executive session for number 8, please?
Well, I believe that the mayor has some things to put out to the public regarding number 8. However, if it's relating to the border wall issues, we do have Jackson Walker available to you all to give you an update regarding potential litigation on that end. And with that would require executive session under 551.
Because of the litigation.
Potential litigation, yes.
The discussion, thank you. I do believe that it would be unwise for us to go into executive session before we have let the public speak. They've been waiting for an hour and a half now. They signed up for public comments. This in no way steps on any type of litigation that may or may not go on that we choose. This is the opportunity for the public to speak to us. And so I would amend that so that we can go to executive session after we have heard from the public. They have been very patient, they have opinions, and we should hear that before we go into executive session.
You accept the motion?
I accept, absolutely.
The amendment, so that we do public comments
Yes,
first.
absolutely.
Thank you very much.
Any other comments?
Well, if there's an amendment also
We're gonna
to.
do all public comments, whatever's here, which is
Right.
facts. So yeah, we'll listen to all the public comments before. I'll amend that
Right,
motion,
before.
absolutely.
And
Yes.
then if you would like to bring up item 109 and 110, so that you know that many of the comments are related to that, we're welcome to bring up my items first to go right now, before we head to executive
Let's vote
session,
on the
hear
first
from our
one,
lawyers.
the first amendment.
All right, motion as amended,
It was seconded, Mayor, yes.
second. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion passes.
Okay, public comments, Mayor.
Public comments. Dr. Reynaldo Godinez.
Thank you, City Council, Mayor. Thank you for the motion, Melissa. This is a DVD that I'm giving to the mayor, the City Council, and everybody in the city. This is a 4.5 billion year history of our planet, climate history. The bottom line is that the worse the methane and the carbon gets, the worse the temperature becomes. And that's why you're seeing Corpus Christi going through the crisis, because they didn't plan ahead for climate change. And this is an excellent documentary. So I'm gonna leave this handouts for the mayor and the city council and everybody who wants to read it. So the Rio Grande River has about 600 milligrams per liter of total dissolved solids. The city plant gets this river water, brings it down to 211 milligrams per liter of dissolved solids, and that is our drinking water. Our effluent water, that's the water that's in the city, gets the water that we've used as a city, takes it back to the plant, and then makes it into an effluent water, which is about 270 milligrams per liter, and that's what we throw back. But that's where El Paso is now a leader. They're just making a plant that takes 3 years to take the effluent water and make it drinkable. That's the best thing that the mayor and the city council can do short term. We can use all that water back again. Underground water is about 1,700 milligrams per liter of dissolved solids, but can go as high as 35,000. Again, 600, we take it from the river, we make it into 211, we're gonna dump it back at 270, which we can use to make it drinkable. The least expensive secondary source of water for the city of Laredo is those millions of gallons of effluent water that the city produces every day. We have 2 plants. So what El Paso is doing, they're putting they're making this plant at one of their plants, and they're drinking it again. That's the best thing, the fastest thing we can do. As I was here the last time, we got on some experts, because of climate change, the water gets more evaporated. So we have 18 to 24 years, according to those experts, or by the year 2044 to 2050, to do what El Paso is doing. El Paso right now only relies on 18% of the river. They're 82% non-river dependent now. So we need to start moving forward and not be caught like Corpus Christi. So this is the documentary. It's called Global Warming. You can't get it on Prime Video, but here it is for all of you to have. My handouts are here, and something that has to do with this that I would never thought I would find it on Prime Video, and it's King Charles, and it's called Finding Harmony. That king, when he was a prince, has been a person that believes in harmony with our environment and making it sustainable. So this is about making the city of Laredo survive, be sustainable, and in the future, anything is possible, but we gotta have water for the city to have all these things that people need, for all of us that love this city, and we can be leaders.
Mayor,
Thank you
3
very
minutes,
much. Here's
Mayor.
your handouts. Here's your DVD that I want you to all share with everybody else. And thank you for letting the public have their comments, because this is the city that belongs to all of us. We love the city, but we have to have water for the city to survive. Thank you.
Thank you.
Next comment, Rosemary Welsh.
You all can do it. Sí se puede.
Sí se puede.
Look at these young people, look, young children that go with us right now. And they're going to the board.
We're already working on it.
And it's possible. And that's what army is all about.
Thank you all very much. How are you all doing, okay?
Good.
Good, excellent. My name's Sister Rosemary Welsh. I am a proud member of the Rio Grande Riverfront Coordination and Advisory Ad Hoc Committee. I've read the report that you're going to go through tonight, and this is a life or death issue. We need to do everything possible as a city to get more information. Please approve further studies immediately and make it clear that this is not just about infrastructure, but this is about protecting the lives and safety of our residents in Laredo. On my way here today, and I just have one more comment, people ask me, why do you care? And why are you going to go? And what are you going to say? Why do you show up? And all these kids today, you all these kids today, that's why we show up. And the other thing is that there's a saying, when good people do not speak up, bad things happen. So that's what we're all of us are goodwill. We all love this community. We all want the best, but we need to study and speak up when it might not be so popular. So I thank you very much. God bless you all. Amen.
Thank you.
Adrián Tristán.
Good evening, Mayor and Council. My name is Adrian Tristan, and I live in District 5. I'm a recent graduate of the University of Texas at Austin, where I studied government and public policy. And I've proudly returned back to my hometown to continue my professional journey, working on issues regarding public health, community safety, and people-centered empowerment. I've never spoken at a forum like this before, actually, but I built up the courage to speak to you all today because I, like so many of my friends, relatives, and neighbors in Generation Z, believe that this city finds itself at a critical juncture. I am deeply concerned by the Tompkins Report and what it means for Laredo and specifically for my generation, Generation Z. The Tompkins Report makes it clear that the combination of WAW and buoy systems pose a real threat to our critical infrastructure, particularly our bridges. If any of our bridges are destroyed, or even if they are just damaged and have to be closed for prolonged repair damage due to the buoys, this can have serious consequences for our local economy. I ask this council, has that even been factored into your thinking? Have you tabulated the potential economic risks and costs to the city? That cost of repair to deal with a catastrophe will largely fall on this city, on my generation, and on all of us. Where is your study on the political impacts and the potential economic disasters that our city and our infrastructure will have to deal with? We can no longer keep our head in the sand. We need to wake up and get a clear picture of what this project could be. I urge this council to commission those studies immediately. As today's leaders and as, frankly, people who my generation looks up to, this council must meet the moment. The decisions that you all make today will certainly impact and determine who lives and who dies. Thank you.
Thank you.
José René Rodríguez and Sandra Rodríguez.
Buenas tardes, noches.
Buenas tardes.
Mi nombre es Sandra Mireya Rodríguez y vengo sobre lo que nos mandaron a decir sobre las boyas y el muro fronterizo. Nosotros venimos, varias personas que aquí estamos presentes, porque queremos ver sobre la construcción. Venimos a preguntar qué es lo que se va a hacer. porque nosotros nos dicen que para construir este proyecto de infraestructura van a tener que, los que estamos en lo que es la ribera del río, nosotros vamos a tener que perder nuestras propiedades. Y la pregunta de nosotros es, ¿qué vamos a hacer? Porque aquí dice, mediante expropiación. Yo la expropiación la entiendo como que yo voy a adquirir ese terreno, ya sea público o privado, pero no te voy a dar nada. Ahora, en caso de que no podamos, no alcancemos una expropiación y que sean vecinos, ¿qué es lo que va a pasar si por medio del muro, por medio de las boyas, en un gran crecimiento del río, qué vamos a hacer las personas que tenemos ahí las casas cerca del río? Porque las aseguranzas te dicen claramente que ellos te cubren cuando el agua entra por el techo, mas no te cubren cuando entra por debajo de las puertas o por debajo de una creciente. Eso es el problema que tenemos todas las personas que vivimos en las orillas de los ríos. No precisamente en las orillas, sino 4, 5, 6 bloques, no sabemos cómo vaya a perjudicar. Ahora, esto no nada más perjudica a las personas, también es un ecocidio porque están exterminando lo que es la flora y la fauna de lo que es de Laredo. También se puede, el puente, los puentes, la infraestructura de los puentes, cuando se desprendan las boyas con alguna fuerza que venga desde el norte, en una tormenta fuerte que venga al norte, desboca. El agua cuando es una creciente no viene poco a poco, la creciente viene como que si te echan un balde de agua y viene el desborde con basura, con troncos, y aparte se va a traer todas las boyas. Esas boyas se van a hacer un tipo de telaraña y se van a llevar hasta la infraestructura del puente, lo que es todas las bases que protegen los puentes. Entonces la pregunta es, ¿qué vamos a hacer nosotros? ¿Qué nos pueden ustedes decir? ¿Qué nos pueden ustedes arreglar? ¿O qué explicación nos pueden dar? ¿O qué orientación para nosotros seguir caminando, para seguir mostrando esto?
Gracias.
Gracias.
Karen Muñoz.
Good evening, Council and Mayor. My name is Karen Munoz, and I live in District 8 here. Okay. Thank you. I live in District 8 here in Laredo. I'm here today because I'm concerned about the future of Laredo should the border wall and buoy barrier become a reality. I've read Dr. Mark Tompkins' report, which clearly shows that the border wall and buoy system are an existential threat to Laredo, especially to some of the most vulnerable, disinvested neighborhoods. I urge you to do everything that you can, everything in your power, to ensure the health and safety of your community is protected. If the wall is built and if flooding does occur, as has happened and as will eventually happen, what will the effects be? Will families be displaced? If families are displaced, what response is the city prepared for? Flooding would create an emergency situation in areas that have already, again, experienced severe lack of investment. Has the federal government promised to provide support in a situation like that? If they do, should we trust that's going to happen even? What investment has the city made? What investment will the city make? What investment will the city be forced to make to ensure that families are protected? Last week, the Laredo Morning Times reported on the water crisis facing Corpus Christi. And 2 years ago, this council learned that we will also be out of water come 2044. And this is the context in which we are having these conversations today. This project, a wall, buoys will only serve to worsen this problem. Buoys, of course, will inevitably deteriorate, which will inevitably release microplastics into our river, contaminating what is our primary source of water. I share that to say that the implications of this project are wide and far-reaching, and we don't even understand some of them. The city should absolutely not agree to move forward with any infrastructure plans while the federal government has yet to show you the plans, has yet to show you what the practical effects of this infrastructure are. You simply can't negotiate with such little information. I urge you to reject the installation of any buoys in the river, to demand the full engineering plans for the wall and a buoy system, and to hire an independent expert to review those plans and advise the city about those effects before any decisions are made. I understand the position that the federal government has put you in here. Still, this wall will affect Laredo residents long after this president is gone. And I urge you to do everything that you can to again put the safety and community of this community and of this river first. Thank you.
Thank you. Adrian Zapata.
Good evening, Mayor and members of the council staff. For the record, my name is Adrian Zapata. I'm a longtime resident of Laredo and a business advocate for our economic opportunity for our region. I'm here tonight to respectfully urge council to oppose the installation of buoy barriers in the Rio Grande. For me, the river, the Rio Grande, is not just a line on the map. I've been a river enthusiast since 1998, since I was in 7th grade when I won a citywide science fair project studying erosion. For nearly 3 decades, I've celebrated the river as a defining part of our region's history, culture, and identity. But tonight I'm here to talk about something equally important, which is the risk to our infrastructure and to our economy. According to the expert analysis, engineering analysis prepared by Dr. Mark Tompkins, the proposed buoy system would obstruct as much as 8% of the river's conveyance area, altering how water moves through the Rio Grande, potentially increasing flood levels during high flow events. The Rio Grande already experiences extreme floods. We saw that between 2010 and 2018. Several major floods impacted our region, pushing the river beyond its banks. Huge amounts of debris, tree, vegetation, trash, they all accumulated, and this debris came down, and imagine if that was on some of these buoy chains, it's going to increase the pressure on them, and eventually they're going to break free and go downstream. And what happens, those loose sections can become trapped along the riverbanks and our bridge piers, and that is why I think that everybody in this room should be concerned of that. Because Laredo isn't just the #1 inland port in the United States. We're the #1 inland port in the entire Western Hemisphere. 20,000 trucks move throughout the city every single day. $330 billion in trade, international trade, crosses our bridges every single year, representing 40% of all the U.S.-Mexico trade. So all of our bridges, all 4 of them, are not just local assets, they're critical economic arteries for North America. Even if one of those bridges were to be damaged by river flows, debris, accumulation, or erosion caused by the buoy system, the economic consequences could ripple across the entire continent. Billions of dollars in trade disrupted overnight. And we don't have to look too far to understand what flooding can do to Texas. Just a few months ago, in the Hill Country area, we saw the billions of dollars of damage that happened there because of the flooding, because of the debris in the river that was caused by the flooding. So the Rio Grande is already a dynamic shifting river, and introducing hundreds of debris catching buoy chains into the system just adds a level of uncertainty. So I respectfully ask City Council and the mayor and city staff to just, do your research on this and just oppose the barrier system, the buoy barriers. Thank you very much for your time, and any resources that we could be or I could be, whether it's any political office, we're here to help you guys out. So thank you very much.
Thank you. Danny Benavides.
Good afternoon, Mayor, Council, City Management. We don't get to choose the times that we live in. We only get to choose what we do in those times. This is not the situation that anyone wanted to be in, and we know that there's no perfect options, but yet here we are. Look at what's happening just up the road from us in Corpus Christi. Look at the situation that Eagle Pass has been in. You have tried to negotiate in good faith with the federal government. You have tried to be reasonable, and no doubt you have been polite and professional. In return, has the federal government shared any plans with you? Have they entered into good faith negotiations with you? Is the federal government doing anything to protect the safety of our residents? It seems that the answer is no. This is a time for you to have your plan B ready. This is a time to have courage. Let us look at our fellow Americans for inspiration, other cities that have shown us the way. When cities stand up, both their leadership and their people together, they win. In Minneapolis, the mayor stood up to the federal government. The city council stood up, the people stood up, and the federal government left. Look at what's happening in Corpus Christi. The governor can't wait to get his hands into that city. Don't let the government, state, federal, to come in and take our city. What's happening in Laredo is no different than the situations that these three cities have faced. The city and our leadership can come together and stop a very harmful and destructive force. Don't be afraid of your own voice, and don't be afraid of your own power. Let the river be a source of life, not a death threat. Stand up for us, and we will stand with you. Stand up for Laredo. Que viva el Río Grande y que viva Laredo, Texas. Gracias.
Mariana Salinas.
Good afternoon, Mayor Trevino, council members, and city staff. I know you have seen me before and you might say, oh, not again. My name is Mariana Salinas, president of the Zacate Creek Green District Coalition. I come before you, Mayor, not only as a resident of the Azteca, but as a community leader of the neighborhood, representing a concerned group of citizens who are in the opposition of the proposed border wall. The community which I represent opposes the border wall for a variety of reasons, as it represents wasteful spending, eyesore on our city, preventing Azteca residents from accessing their only green space and most important reason of all, which is public safety. On March 19, 2026, Dr. Mark Tompkins, a highly respected geomorphologist, presented the City of Laredo Riverfront Committee with a detailed report on the destructive and deadly outcomes that will result during a flood of the bayous are installed in the river and the border wall is built. The report mentioned that the result of such actions are: 1, the increase of debris in the river; 2, floods will be higher and faster; 3, wall section will be filled and be dangerous to the bridges, which will paralyze international trade, hurting not just Laredo, but the result of the nations with shorter and higher prices on goods. 4, a threat to life and property. As a resident of Azteca Riverfront neighborhood and as a community leader, I am extremely concerned about the threat of life and property and how it will have a deadly and destructive impact on all riverfront neighborhood, which will result in citizens of Laredo losing their lives. The people of this neighborhood deserves to know the truth about the deadly danger that awaits them. You must take these warnings in Dr. Tompkins' report seriously and not close your eyes to the information presented to you, because if you do nothing, you are gambling with people's life. It angers me that our city government has not done more study that deadly impacts that the buyouts in border will
Mayor, 3
have,
minutes.
especially in poor neighborhoods along the river. The time for action is now because we might never get a second chance. Now is not the time to have a wait-see approach because time is running out. To do so, playing politics with people's lives and that was not what you were elected for. Mayor Trevino City Council, when you were elected, your main duty is to uphold public safety and is the what I respect and demand that you prioritize. You not live in neighborhood that will have deadly impacts from flooding made worse by the border wall, but many of my fellow citizens do. Are their lives worthy any less than those who live in better of neighborhoods? I hope you don't need to think about the answer to that question. Some members on the city council may support the wall because they fear the reaction of the federal government if they oppose it. But when they really need to fear is the loss of life and destruction of property that will happen. Their priority needs to be on the people of this city and not in bending over backwards for any administration. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Ricardo de Anda.
Good afternoon, Mayor, City Council. My name is Ricardo de Anda, and I'm a member of the Riverfront Advisory Committee. I don't mean to speak for them, but I will say this. Every member of that advisory committee loves Laredo, and every member of that advisory committee does not want any harm to happen to this city. They have asked you to conduct further studies so that we as the committee can be informed as to what any dangers that Laredo may face, so that we can properly advise you. Why is this important? It's not about the presidential permit anymore. It's a different issue that we're facing now. This is what Dr. Tompkins said, and I'm quoting, that because of the walls and buoys, inevitable catastrophic flooding and potential deaths will occur. Inevitable, he says. Why inevitable? Well, because it's a project that's going to last hundreds of years. Are we going to have a strong rain event during 200 years? You can bet. And when it happens, he says we're going to suffer inevitable catastrophic flooding and potential deaths. Now, this is not the city's expert. This is an expert that was commissioned by a nonprofit, paid for by the landowners who are concerned about damage to their property. We're not concerned about deaths. You guys should be concerned about deaths. You guys need to look deeper into this and find out what is that potential. Now, why do we find ourselves in this situation where an engineering project is causing the risks of flooding and death? Well, because the laws that protect us have been waived. The laws that would normally not allow this to happen have been waived. I hate to do this to you, Mr. Knapp, but you are our last line of defense. You are all we have. You, Mayor and City Council, because the law has been stripped from us, is our only defense. We can't be concerned about presidential permits anymore. We need to be concerned about La Azteca. It's not going to be the neighborhoods in Del Mar or the Heights that are going to be affected by flooding. It's the neighborhoods like La Azteca that are going to be harmed by flooding. They're the ones that are at risk, the barrios of Laredo. And they rely on you because the law's been stripped from us. Now, it seems to me that we want to be able to gather whatever evidence we can gather as to this inevitability so that we can effectively negotiate with the federal government. If there's anything that will cause them to keep us out of this situation, if there's anything that's going to cause them to accept Mr. Neeb's proposal of alternative security systems, it's evidence of death to this community. Now, think about it. This wall will go through the middle of an area that holds 750,000 people. There's no other place in this border along the Rio Grande where that occurs. That's not the situation in Brownsville. That's not the situation in El Paso and Ciudad Juarez. It's the situation here. 750,000 people right down the middle of it. You don't need to be an engineer to understand that that could be a problem in case of a storm and in case of any impediments to the flow of that water. The committee has asked you to commission a study. Granted, we don't have all of the plans and specifications. There were engineers from Crane Engineering who were at the committee meeting. One of them said that their engineers looked at the Tompkins report and they agreed with every single word in that report. I don't know whether we can accept it fully, but let's study it because it does raise some serious issues. And if you ignore that report, if you go into executive session and deal with this issue in executive session and cut out the people from issues involving public safety, it could be tragic. Now, we may not be able to have anything to do with it. They may be able to cut us off and build a wall anyway. In that case, you may need to change your emergency preparedness plan. And you should have this study at least so that you'll know what are the risks and what can you as a city do to protect us from those risks. And so, on my behalf as a member of the committee, I ask you to please commission that report so that we can open our eyes fully to what's happening here. The second thing that the committee has done is asked that you broaden the scope of our review. We want to be able to take a broader look at the situation and not be limited solely to city-owned assets, solely to the city's critical assets. We want to look at this from a broader perspective. And we're asking the council to vote tonight to give us that broader perspective scope so that we can be more useful to you. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Maximiliano Prado. Maximiliano Prado.
Good evening, Council and Mayor. My name is Maximiliano Prado with the Laredo Immigrant Alliance, speaking on agenda item 109. Year after year, the federal and state government keep investing in the border, but not on projects and programs that our community does not need. In just the past year, $4.1 million were approved for license plate readers that violate the privacy of our community. $85 billion to ICE that is being used to poach our local law enforcement officers and create fear in our communities. And now, a total of $1.38 billion for the Laredo border wall and buoys in our only source of drinking water. Not only is this going to hurt our environment, but it's going to create more problems for our only source of water. This is already one of the most endangered rivers in the nation. For decades, our city has let itself be affected by state and federal lawmakers who do not understand the needs of our city. each time they decide to invest billions of dollars to border security, and we let them. We have reached the point that having the military along the border has become our normal for our community. The contracts for construction of the border wall and buoys are for Laredo totals $1.38 billion. With this money, all of Laredo's water pipeline system could be fixed. The budget deficit of United ISD could be paid off. Laredo City Health Department could get the expansion that we so desperately need. Our roads improved, and Hamilton Senior Apartments could have gotten all their improvements. All this could be accomplished with that money, and we still would have $395 million left over. That money could be used to keep investing in the needs of our community. While I understand that we do not have a choice on how this money is being spent, our community will never get the investment we have needed for years if we keep silently letting them do what they want with our community. We will not stop being perceived as a dangerous border if we keep letting this happen. People from outside Laredo will see the military, the billions given to ICE, the border wall, the buoys, and say, if Laredo is so safe, why does your community need all that? Pushing back against the national narrative is not going to be easy. Fixing our water problem is not going to be easy. Stopping the militarization of our community is not going to be easy. Pushing back against a border wall and buoys is not going to be easy, but we need to. The people of Laredo, the people of our community, are going to be here to support you all if you do decide to push back. It seems like an impossible choice, but it is not. You all have a choice to make on behalf of the people, and we are here telling you what our community needs. Thank you.
Edgar Villaseñor.
Hey guys. For the record, my name is Edgar Villaseñor. Good evening, everyone. Thank you, Mayor and City Council, for this opportunity to speak. Today, I'm here on behalf of my neighborhood, Santa Rita, in Southside Laredo, District 2. I have lived in the South most of my life, and I love my park. I read the Dr. Tompkins report, and the report shows that the risks to my neighborhood and other riverfront neighborhoods is great. The border wall concern is no longer just about the potential damage to our natural environment. It isn't just about access to our riverfront for fishing, birding, recreation, or even the very real risk to our city infrastructure like our bridges. The findings on this report show that the border wall construction has become a mission-critical public safety issue. According to the Dr. Tompkins report, the construction of a border wall through our riverfront communities presents a direct life or death threat. It is your obligation to protect our community, and if the feds won't do it, you guys should be taking steps to do it. You have our community at stake. We have more than 20 riverfront neighborhoods all the way from Deer Creek down to College Heights and beyond, not mentioning Rio Bravo and El Cenizo. We are now being asked to take unacceptable risks, and we cannot allow this as a community. You are our representatives. The city needs to immediately conduct these studies. We need to protect our safety. Please find the courage and protect our community. Thank you, guys.
Margarita Raiza.
Good evening, Mayor, honorable council members and staff. My name is Margarita Araiza. In 1954, the Rio Grande rose up and flooded after Hurricane Alice came down through several counties and created havoc in our community. The Zacate Creek flooded all the way up to about Lafayette Street, Saunders Avenue, and the result was devastating. People had to be evacuated. The health care community had to take emergency steps to inoculate people against typhoid. It was a disaster. Laredo is unique. We can't just, I'm sorry, we can't just say, well, other cities have a wall, so we will be fine. Or other cities have buoys, so we will be fine. We have over 20 urban communities, neighborhoods, right up against the river, which is not true in most border cities. The river flows strongly here, and it floods, which is not true in most border cities. If anything goes wrong, the lives and property of our residents will be directly impacted, which is not true in most border cities. We have unique risks here, and those have not been addressed at all. You need to stand up and protect the lives of our city residents. It's time to stop being complacent. The unique risks to our infrastructure and communities must be understood and addressed. I urge you to immediately move to approve the necessary studies to protect the safety of Laredo residents. Don't wait. And please, I hope that no city representative ever again says there's nothing we can do or it's out of our hands. That is not an acceptable response to this life and death issue. Thank you.
Thank you.
Dr. Alisona Hadley. Alyson Hadley.
Good evening. My name is Dr. Allison Hadley. I am an associate professor of anthropology and a professional archaeologist. My presence here, my views and my perspectives and my opinions are mine alone as a private citizen and as a 10-year plus resident of Laredo. I do not represent those, and they do not represent those of my employer or any other institution with which I am affiliated. To reiterate, my words spoken here are mine alone. I'm currently conducting a study on both the aquatic and the terrestrial archaeological cultural resources that will be impacted by both border barriers. Cultural resources include prehistoric archaeological sites that can date back to 12,000 years, historic towns, ranches, forts, cemeteries, trails, and highways, all of which we have here. And it can also include underwater prehistoric and historic resources such as sunken structures and vessels. I'm here to add just another perspective about the cultural resources and to ask you to please consider the cultural resources when making future decisions about the border barrier systems. Thank you.
Thank you. Sylvia Bruni.
It was worth the wait. Sylvia Bruni, and I am I'm a Laredoan first and foremost, but representing the Webb County Democratic Party as our party chair. And I would venture to say that on behalf of that party, representing thousands and thousands of Laredoans who agree and endorse with every single comment that you've heard from community today. I've read I haven't read the report, but I know that the report forecasts dire consequences, and you've heard elaborations of that tonight. I want to point out something else, which literally underscores why we should not have to be speaking of this, period. Punto. You're very proud of the fact, and I see the signs here on the side, we're what? The safest city in Texas? I thought for a while there we might even have been the safest city in the United States. We are a safe city. We continue to be a safe city. Unfortunately, the folks in Washington don't seem to grasp that. But I want to remind you of a story of something that happened in 2024 that, if anything, underscores why it is that this wall and these buoys are absolutely nonsensical. In 2024, many of you will remember what happened. There was a surge. Actually, the propagandists, the folks that market propaganda on the other side, took it as an advantage. We had in Laredo over 350,000 migrants who arrived in a rush. Many of you will remember that. They were coming by the busloads. They were not crossing the river. They were coming by the busloads. We would learn, and I know this for a fact from our friends at Holding. They were coming from Arizona, they were coming from California, they were coming from New Mexico, they were coming from anywhere where there was a border town. Because what they had learned was that in Laredo, we had a very rapid and efficient processing system. They were being dropped off by the busloads. Holding and Catholic Social Services were the two nonprofits. And I know that the city at the time took steps because we were being inundated. But in all that time, throughout those 350,000 that came to Laredo, there was not ever, I keep asking for verification, there was not ever one indication that one of those committed a crime. No crime was committed by the migrants that came through and were literally dumped in Laredo. It's a reminder to you, and it's a reminder to the community. It should be a reminder to the administration that continues to play with us, actually to punish us, that this is not a city that merits or deserves a useless, senseless, destructive wall and buoys. I agree. Just one minor. My mother, when we got into trouble, would say, "¿Quién te manda? ¿Quién te manda?" A reminder que nosotros nos mandamos. Nosotros nos mandamos. Take steps to stand up to them. And God willing, we're able to hold off until we have a turnaround in that administration. But in the meantime, ¿quién nos manda? Nosotros. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Catalina Aguilar.
Good evening, Mayor and Council. My name is Catalina Marie Aguilar, and I'm a resident of District 7 and a proud constituent of Councilwoman Vanessa Perez, who is unfortunately not present right now. But I'm here to speak on Agenda Item 109. To be honest, I'm not much of a political person, and I've never attended a city council meeting before, but a few days ago, I was on social media and came across a report by a river expert, Dr. Mark Tompkins, and what I read genuinely scared me. As a Laredoan born and raised in District 7, I grew up on our riverfront parks, on our racquetball courts, and along our walking trails. These aren't just patches of land to me. They're where my family gathers for Sunday carne asadas and where I've made my favorite memories. When I read Dr. Tompkins' analysis, I realized these proposed structures, the walls and the buoys, create a physical bottleneck in the Rio Grande. In a major storm, this combination wouldn't just block people, it'll block water. It'll turn our riverfront into a debris trap that puts our neighborhoods and our international bridges at risk. For those of us in District 7, this isn't just a project on paper. This is about our homes. It feels like the city is being asked to wait and see if our living rooms will flood, if our drinking water is contaminated, and that's a risk we cannot afford to take. This has become a matter of public safety, and to be frank, a matter of life and death. I'm here tonight as a concerned neighbor and to ask this council to prioritize our families over vague proposals. I urge Councilwoman Perez and the rest of the council to 1, oppose the installation of these buoys in our historic Rio Grande, 2, hire an independent river expert, someone who has Laredo interests at heart, to review this project, and 3, refuse to negotiate with the federal government until we, the local government and citizens, see the full engineering plans. We cannot move forward blindly while our community safety is on the line. I thank you for the work you do for our city, and I ask that you put the safety of our homes and the health of our river first. Thank you all for your time.
Thank you.
Valentin Ruiz.
Thank you, Mayor, council members, and our city manager. Valentin Ruiz, Laredo veteran. I strongly support the border security. But you can secure the border without poisoning our water with buoys that emit cancer-causing forever chemicals. Every person in this room drinks the water from the Rio Grande. El Rio Grande no es solo una frontera, es el agua que todos aquí tomamos. Independent engineers are warning that installing buoys, wall infrastructure in the Rio Grande would increase flood risk, trap massive debris, and damage bridges. These buoys could drag through neighborhoods, dragging houses and people up against the wall. This is a death trap for people on both sides of the border. That should concern every responsible person for protecting this city. And that is you, the city manager, and our city council. It's only and you need to protect our only water source from contamination. Supporting border security should never mean increasing flood danger or risking contamination of our water supply for the residents dependent on that water every day. So my question to this council, and especially to you, our city manager, is simple. Will the city of Laredo demand full engineering transparency and independent flood risk studies before allowing this project to move forward along our river? Because protecting the border should also mean protecting the American communities that live along it. Todos aquí tomamos el agua del río. So tonight, the people of Laredo and the veterans standing behind me are watching you to see who will stand up for our river and who will stay silent while decisions are made that could affect our only water source of our people. Lazo Camati, gracias. Thank you. Thank you.
Jasmine Vega.
Is there a timer anywhere? I know it's 3 minutes, but how do I know how many minutes I
He
have?
has a little belt to advise you.
Okay. Well, thank you, Mayor and council members, for hearing me today. My name is Jasmine Vega. I'm here to discuss item 109, like a lot of people have been discussing today. The CBP's proposed smart wall infrastructure. And I'm, as you can tell, super emotional. This is very crazy to me that we're even having this conversation right now. I feel very personally impacted by this. I live in, if you guys are familiar with neighborhoods, I live in El Tonto. So I am a stone's throw away from the border, from the river. I use the Tres Laredos Park and Laredo College every day for walking around. You know, we're from a low socioeconomic neighborhood, so we don't have a lot of options there. We're so limited in what we have, and hearing that we may be getting these taken away from us is heartbreaking. And then not to mention, like people have touched on today, our lives, more importantly. I fear, I like others here have read the report. I am so scared. I remember when I was in second grade, a huge flood that happened that went up to the Rio Drive Mall. And I remember fearing for my life back then.
I can only imagine the impact that kind of flood would have if we had buoys and walls in place. It would absolutely hit my neighborhood. And there's only 3 exits from my neighborhood. One of them, Zaragoza, often blocked by the train. The other, an underpass, San Francisco Javier, which would definitely be covered if a flood were to happen. The third, Laredo College, which if the entire neighborhood was trying to exit through Laredo College, would be insanity. So I fear for all these people that can't be here today, that, you know, my family has been in that neighborhood since the 1800s, as a lot of people in that neighborhood. They're older people that they don't see social media. They don't even know what's going on. And I cannot stand by and not advocate for them. And you guys should be the ones advocating for us, for them, for the people who can't be here today. So my ask of you, our city council, is to advocate for us and say no to buoys, say no to the border wall. Like others have mentioned, it's super crucial that we, Laredo, do our independent study on how it will impact our neighborhoods. I don't understand why we would even consider this without having this information. It's super, super crucial. So again, I think that we shouldn't agree to anything until we have the facts in place of how it'll affect our neighborhood. And, you know, someone else touched on it, but I've been reading this sign all evening for the past 2-3 hours I've been sitting here.
3 minutes.
So I don't understand, if we are the safest city in Texas, why we're even talking about this. Thank you.
Mary Sue Galindo.
Good evening, Mayor,
Evening.
City Council, and staff. For the record, my name is Mary Sue Galindo, and I'm here to speak on behalf of the river and the city of Laredo and against the desecration and the destruction of our community. I think you know in your heart of hearts that a border wall and the buoys would bring nothing but disaster and destruction upon our people. The federal government doesn't care about brown people. This wall is a monument to hate. It is not needed. We are the effing safest city in the state of Texas. So some contractor is going to make a lot of money. And that's what this is about, because this has been one of the most corrupt administrations ever. And they don't care about our safety. This is a hoax. This is a sham. And our community is at stake. The health and safety and dignity of our community is at stake. We just saw these robotic teams. We were applauding science and the magnificent things that we can do with science. Well, we need to embrace science, and we need to look at reports, and we need to have studies, and we need to take a page from the Trump playbook and sue the federal government and delay and sue and delay and sue. And we need to hire attorneys who have experience suing the government, because we need that kind of expertise, because we cannot stand by with our hands behind our backs not knowing what to do. We have no answers. This is an unusual situation that we find ourselves in. But I know, Mayor, that you have a good heart. I know all of you care about the community. You have a good heart. Fight for us. Fight for us. Fight.
Juan Lozano.
Buenas tardes, doctor Treviño y Concilio. Gracias por permitirnos asumir nuestro derecho, el derecho de expresarme y el derecho de petición. Ustedes asumieron un cargo muy responsable para la cuestión de representar nuestra ciudad y a toda la comunidad de Laredo. Pero también nosotros somos responsables con ustedes para poder proteger los derechos que nos asisten como ciudadanos de este lugar. El problema realmente que estamos enfrentando es una disposición que ya de antemano observamos en la parte de Isla Paz con la cuestión de las boyas que se pusieron. Si nuestro gobernador, Greg Abbott, sigue apoyando la cuestión de edificar y poner las boyas, va a ser una catástrofe para la ciudad de Laredo. Hablar de 153 millas de boyas determina un riesgo natural que va a afectar no nada más a nuestras áreas que están cerca de las riberas del río. Yo vivo en la parte del barrio de San Agustín y aun cuando estamos a 350 yardas del río, sabemos que podemos tener un riesgo. La naturaleza en la actualidad no tiene palabra para cuestión de poder afectar en ciertos momentos las situaciones mismas que se pueden presentar en nuestras áreas de los que vivimos cerca de la ribera del río. Sin embargo, el hecho de ver esa forma de construcción que se quiere hacer, las boyas van a flotar en algún momento en que tengamos una salida o una llegada de agua en forma decreciente. Las boyas arrastrarían los muros de los puentes internacionales. No podemos olvidar que el puente internacional número 1 es más bajo que el puente 2 y en esa parte hay un embudo que impide que el agua pase y fluya rápidamente. Quizás el puente del comercio internacional está más elevado y puede ser protegido, pero el cúmulo de basura va a poder destruir los puentes internacionales. Entonces nosotros como parte de esa ciudad queremos manejar nuestra responsabilidad ciudadana, pero bajo la responsabilidad de ustedes para cuestión de que nos representen ante el gobierno federal o el gobierno del estado y evitar construcciones indebidas e impropias. Los que vivimos cerca del río tenemos una fauna preponderante en venados, jabalines, coyotes, zorros que hemos visto afectados últimamente. El día de ayer vemos el hecho de que un aironazo levantó polvaderas. La parte suroeste de la ciudad fue muy afectada con la cuestión de esos vientos. Sin embargo, sí es conveniente que pongamos atención en los problemas que se puedan presentar en el futuro, porque no nada más es hecho de proteger a los que vivimos cerca de la ribera, sino también saber que la planta potabilizadora de agua puede ser afectada. Los que vivimos en el siglo pasado, en el 54, recordamos los estragos de una inundación, de una creciente crítica que afectó la vida de las dos ciudades. Muchas gracias.
Gracias. We had a motion to go to executive session.
Wait, Mayor, Councilmember Gonzalez.
May I ask if you all can accept an amendment to bring up the mass transit? I believe there's a small presentation and also item number 87, if possible.
All right, we could do that first.
And would we be able also, if Councilmember agrees, to bring up 109 and 110? Because I know several of these people who referenced that report were speaking about it, and we have that for the public to see through
Okay,
council.
we'll go with you
Mayor,
first.
point of order.
Yeah.
We have consultants waiting and we're paying them by the hour. They've been waiting and I think they have information for us before we get into the discussion so they can advise us before we start on
All
the
right.
item.
So we have a motion that's pending voting.
I'm sorry, the motion is to bring up number 87
And mass transit.
and the mass transit. Motion, I'll second that, Mayor.
Okay, motion second, all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed, motion passed.
For number 87, Mayor, motion to accept. Motion to approve.
Second.
Motion second, all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed, motion passed.
I believe, Mayor, there is a presentation associated with that item?
No, with the mass transit. The mass transit.
The mass, that's another, another item.
Okay. Oh, I see, I see.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Motion to approve is second.
Motion and second, all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion passes.
Mayor, motion to adjourn as the Laredo Mass Transit Board and reconvene, excuse me. Motion to adjourn as the Laredo Council and convene as the Laredo Mass Transit Board.
Motion and second, all in favor? Opposed? Motion passes.
Mr. R.J. Garza, I think you have a presentation for us.
Mayor, there was a request from Metro to table item 101.
Motion to
If you
table
would
number
consider
101.
that.
Motion and second, all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion passes.
Presentation, Mayor, from Mr. Garza.
Yes, Mr. Garza, your presentation, please.
Good afternoon, R.J. Garza for the record, Transit Director.
Mr. Garza, 1 second, please.
Order, please, I can't hear the presenter.
Keep it down, guys.
Go ahead.
Good evening.
Evening.
R.J. Garza for the record, Transit Director. We'd like to go ahead and begin with our presentation to discuss and consider Metro's performance and operational efficiencies review with possible action. I'm pleased.
Excuse me, Mr. Garza, 1 second, please. The audio's having problems picking you up. Can you hold a second till everybody vacates, please?
Test.
There we go.
Okay. I'm pleased to go ahead and do a presentation. We have a video to show you, a brief video. And then if you have any questions after that, we're here to answer. Oscar Gomez is our public communications manager. And then we have staff members here present as well, in case we get a real tough question.
Welcome to El Metro Transit System Presentation Progress, Performance and the Path Forward. Vision. Our promise to the community is to provide a safe bus, a clean bus, and a reliable bus that is operated by a professional coach operator that practices excellent customer service. Our mission is to promote and provide high-quality, cost-effective public transportation services that address the needs and demands of the citizens of Laredo, Texas. The momentum, the data through 2024 shows that Laredo Transit is an essential lifeline. Our fixed-route ridership grew by 13% over 2 years, and our paratransit service, El Lyft, saw a massive 30% surge. These numbers prove the community's deep reliance on our services. The current reality, however, we must address the shift we've seen since January 2025. While our long-term growth is strong, we've observed a localized change in ridership patterns. It is important to note that Laredo is not alone in this. Transit systems in border and immigrant-heavy cities across the region are reporting similar trends due to broader external factors. The outlook, while these regional market realities are currently impacting our numbers, the foundation of our growth remains solid. Tech stack. Laredo Transit is officially operating with a world-class tech stack that rivals major metropolitan agencies. First, we've prioritized the passenger experience. With Swiftly, our riders have real-time tracking, while Samsara gives our team instant alerts for late or missed stops to keep the fleet on time. Behind the scenes, we're using Remix, a powerhouse data visualization tool, to solve complex scheduling and routing in minutes. Paratransit modernization. Our next major upgrade focuses on our most vulnerable riders. We are officially transitioning our paratransit planning to Spare, an industry-leading platform designed for modern mobility. By moving El Lyft onto the same high-level planning ecosystem as our fixed-route system, we are creating a smarter, more unified network. This transition allows us to automate complex scheduling and significantly increase efficiency in our specialized route planning. We are using the best technology available to ensure that our passengers with disabilities receive the most reliable and dignified service possible. We aren't just upgrading our software, we are upgrading our commitment to accessibility. The cashless revolution. Our next goal is the cashless revolution, a transition to a fully integrated tap-and-go system. By introducing reusable smart cards and digital fund management, we're ending the era of cash fumbling and paper transfers. This means boarding times drop to seconds, directly improving our on-time performance. But the real win is operational. Currently, it takes 4 staff members every morning just to process physical cash. Going cashless allows us to reallocate those hours toward higher value transit operations. Plus, the digital data helps us refine schedules with pinpoint accuracy. We're moving from counting coins to capturing data. The passenger environment, we are fundamentally transforming the passenger experience in Laredo. Thanks to key funding from the Federal Highway Administration and TXDOT, we are installing 12 state-of-the-art ADA bus stops. These aren't just stops, they are high-spec, universally accessible
question
spaces
here.
designed to provide a safer, more dignified...
What's this presentation tied to? Because item 101 was tabled. Item 102 is about auto parts. So what is that presentation? Which item is it referring to?
We're on item
We're on
103.
Because I thought we were on 102.
I'm
No,
sorry.
it's an open item.
We're on 102.
Is it an open
Table
item?
101.
Table 101, yeah.
We're on 102.
We're on 102
But
right now.
you're playing a presentation for 103.
Yes, 102, I'm sorry about that. I thought we moved on to 103. But 102 is to consider a renewal contract for our parts, for our buses, our support vehicles, everything that we have.
Motion to approve 102.
Okay, that's what we're
I'll
on.
second for discussion, but I have a question.
Okay.
Yeah, motion second, all in favor?
Well, Mayor, I
This is
have a
discussion.
Oh, question, go ahead.
25% is a lot of an increase. It's a very high increase. If we're going to approve this, I'd also like to include an audit from the auditor so that they can audit the open POs to make sure that the inventory being purchased is utilized and it's not just sitting there, and that everything that's being purchased under open POs is directly related to parts. So
I'd accept the amendment.
All right. Motion is amended. Second,
second.
all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed, motion passed. 103.
We're on 103.
103 now.
Continue with the presentation.
waiting experience for our seniors and riders with disabilities. But we aren't stopping there. We are also launching a massive amenity refresh, replacing aging seating with 200 brand new bus stop benches across the entire city. This isn't just about comfort, it's about enhancing the visual appeal of our corridors and showing our riders that their experience matters. Smart signage. We are officially bringing our bus stops into the digital age by replacing our entire signage network with next general smart signs. The centerpiece of this upgrade is instant access. By scanning a QR code, passengers get real-time route info on their phones. For those without a smartphone, we've integrated a text or call feature. Riders simply provide their stop ID to hear or see exactly when the next bus arrives. Most importantly, we are ensuring no one is left behind. Every physical and digital touchpoint is fully bilingual, providing equal access in English and Spanish. We aren't just putting up signs, we're giving every rider a personal transit assistant at every stop in Laredo. Strategic optimization. To ensure El Metro remains a responsible steward of public funds, we are proposing a strategic optimization of 3 specific routes: the Killam, South Laredo, and Riverside circulators. Currently, these routes show disproportionately low ridership during off-peak hours compared to their high operating costs. By transitioning these specific lines to peak hour service only, we can focus our resources exactly where they are needed most during the morning and afternoon commutes for our workforce and students. This shift allows us to maintain essential connectivity while reducing our annual overhead by nearly $300,000.
Mayor, if I may?
Yes, go ahead.
To bring
RJ, so when I came on council, we didn't have bus ridership past Killam. We incorporated Green Ranch, we brought the buses into that neighborhood, and now we're reducing services. Because when we added Green Ranch, we never included Sundays for them. So the way that we implemented some of these routes, we didn't make it so that the people who utilize these routes could actually convert to bus ridership, and they still have to have their own vehicle to get around. Because if you're not offering buses on Sunday, if you're coming to the bus stop once every 2 hours, we've talked about this before, is that you can't just start a service, make it very difficult for people to use it, and then turn around and say, oh, nobody used it, so let's cut it. That's what we're doing here, because here we are a couple years later, and now we're reducing that service because we're saying that people aren't riding it. Well, they're not riding it because it comes very late. It's inconsistent. It's at once every 2 hours, and it doesn't come on Sundays. So how is somebody supposed to, switch their vehicle to utilize the bus when they can't get around efficiently? So I feel, I can understand from a cost standpoint, but it doesn't seem fair the way we've rolled these things out to, it's not like we gave them full service and we said the bus is gonna come every 30 minutes and we're gonna come on Saturdays and we're gonna come on Sundays, just like we do downtown, and they're not using it. No, we gave them a schedule that makes it hard for them to use it, and now we're taking it away.
Well, thank you, Councilwoman. Ma'am, we're not proposing to eliminate the routes or the circulators. We're not proposing that at all. Actually, what we're seeing is people are wanting to use more of the Mines Road area. And Rosa's here, she's the AGM for operations. She can share that information. But what we're proposing here only, and for consideration, is only we'll have the service during the peak time when people are actually really utilizing it. The savings is when they're not using it. And we've conducted surveys with our drivers as well, so.
No, I can understand. Like, I know exactly what's going on. People want to use it
Yes.
because Mines Road traffic is congested. This would help alleviate some of the congestion by reducing some of the vehicles off the route, but they can't depend on it because they still have to be able to get rides and to and from places within a reasonable period of time. We were supposed to start that Bartlett exchange and have the trucks flow. I mean, right now we do the exchange in the Target parking lot.
We are willing to consider increasing the service when the demand is there. If we can reach a better demand, then it makes sense to go ahead and allow. We want the ridership. Well, that's what we want to accomplish. But at the same time, we want to be as efficient as we can possibly do with these three. And they're quite effective for a lot of people. And I understand people use this service, right? And maybe not as much as a regular fixed route, but they are utilizing it. We are seeing some good numbers, not the best numbers, but we're just trying to reduce it to where people use it, that's when we'll have the service. But it's just a consideration. It's not a great amount of money. I mean, we're talking about close to 300,000 savings, but we can go this route, and as we see an increase in demand, we can always make changes, modifications to make it better.
Well, you're not gonna see an increase in demand when you decrease service. You're going to see an increase in demand when you increase the service. That's always been my argument with the circulator rollout, is that give them the full scope option and let them choose to use it or not. But don't give them, a couple hours and then not Sunday and then hold it against them for not using it. Because that means you can't go anywhere on Sundays. Or you're gonna have to call somebody for a ride, or you're gonna have to take an Uber, or you're gonna have to have a vehicle. And if you have a vehicle, then why are you gonna take the bus? So that's where it doesn't make sense on some of these. Are you going to give us more details on this efficiency and this method and this strategy? Or are you just presenting it to us like this?
Right now, Councilwoman, we are just presenting.
Your name? Yeah, Mayor.
Rosa Soto, for the record.
Yeah, thank you.
Apologies. We are wanting to modify because we have run surveys and have the service say, because we get high ridership in the mornings and late at night or late in the afternoon. They are requesting for an extra trip. So if we reduce the times that there is no ridership and add it towards the end, we'll end up bringing those people that we're leaving behind. Those are the modifications that we're looking at. Now, another modification would be on Mines Road, which we could use that route to service the Killam area since we don't have the circulator running. Those are things that we're looking at because riders are requesting those services for
Right.
Saturdays. Nobody has requested anything for Sunday that we know of. But those, what I just said, they are requesting an extra trip on, in a circulator for Green Ranch. They are requesting for Saturday service, and they're requesting for the Killam Industrial Park. So what I've been looking at was to modify the Mines Road, which is the one that's currently running, and just have it do that trip right there, at that section to the actual route, the existing route.
Okay, I just don't wanna reduce services to the neighborhoods, especially when they went decades without having access at all. And they just got access within the past few years, and I don't wanna take it away from them, especially the ones that have come to rely on it. And so I would be careful, to reduce services, make sure that we're not leaving anybody behind.
Yes, ma'am, and we have been, like I said, we have been running surveys, with the driver writing in where he's picking up certain people, so that we don't affect anybody. If there's one person that we pick up, we do not make those changes. We don't take that service away from them, because they do use it for work.
Okay.
Mayor,
Council may have a
if I may.
question. Yeah.
Yes. RJ, I've got a couple of questions. First and foremost, a few slides back, you mentioned, or was mentioned on the video, going cashless, completely cashless. Do you see an issue with that, especially with our elderly population that may not have access to a bank or doesn't have a debit card or a credit card? Because I know a lot of people, especially our elderly, still uses cash. I'm one of them. Yep. I'm not that elder, but I still use cash. That's a concern because a lot of our people, they use cash.
Yes, and that's a good question, Councilman. We're not eliminating the cash concept. If people want to pay with cash, they still can. Okay. But we are getting a lot of demand from even like college students and
yes, absolutely.
People that have, and say, hey, you can just take credit card and things like that. Sure. So we are seeing that.
Yeah, I understand moving with technology and moving forward. I just don't want to leave the people behind that are a little older that may not be.
We're not proposing to eliminate the cash ability.
Perfect.
We're still going to allow cash. A lot of people are used to just cash, and
right.
And as we transition into that, then we're going to be able to know, well, how much is really coming in and how much all this. There's a lot of systems, or San Antonio is a good example that they're not accepting cash.
Right.
But we're not proposing that at this time.
Perfect.
Not at this time.
Great. And then number two, survey was mentioned a few minutes ago. Ms. Sosa, I think it is. Yes, ma'am. Just a recommendation, have you all sent out notices to people that live in those particular areas, those neighborhoods, mailing something out to them, asking what service they require, what times? Or is it just going by the ridership that's been limited?
We are going by the ridership.
Okay.
But
Is there something that maybe El
can
Metro
go
can
out there
do?
and
Maybe El Metro can do something to send them out, entire neighborhoods, right? Some type of a survey saying, hey, I need a service at this time. This would be great. If you have 100, 200 people that are saying, yes, I need a service at, I'm just shooting out a number, right? 6 a.m., you all can make it work.
Yeah.
Would that be possible?
Yes, sir.
Okay, please. I think that would help us and you all plenty.
Yes.
Okay, thank you so much.
Mayor, if I may?
Yes, go ahead.
RJ, are you gonna finish with the report? Are you still have the presentation to go?
Yes, I think there's a minute and a half left.
Okay. Okay, that way you can finish and then I have another question.
Okay.
Everything together, the vision for El Metro in 2026 is built on strength, modernization, and accountability. We have established a rock-solid foundation, proven by our 13% growth in fixed routes and a massive 30% surge in our paratransit services. To support that growth, we have implemented a big city tech stack and a roadmap for a cashless revolution that prioritizes passenger speed and driver safety. By making the strategic decision to optimize underperforming routes, we are reclaiming nearly $300,000 in annual operating costs. I want to be clear, this is a reinvestment strategy. We are pouring those savings back into our high-traffic core and into transformative infrastructure, like our 12 new state-of-the-art ADA stops and the Phase 1A maintenance facility. Our goal is to provide more than just a ride. We are providing a dignified, elite, and reliable transit experience for the 1.8 million passengers who call El Metro their lifeline. We are building a smarter, faster Laredo, and we are just getting started. Thank you for your time and your continued support of our mission. At this time, I'm happy to take any questions you may have.
I want to thank you for listening to our presentation. I hope we all learned a little bit. Also, with the public that's seeing this. Same time, I wanted to go ahead and I didn't introduce my boss. He's here in the room. His name John Hendrickson. He's the HCG president.
Welcome.
If you have any questions for us, we're pleased to answer any additional questions. We are seeing a increase in ridership in the fixed route, like 6% this year. This year's changed from last year. We're getting the 6% increase in fixed route and a 10% increase in ridership on the LF program. So it's been working very well. I like your suggestions about each of the services and proposals that we're putting out, and we understand perfectly about wanting to be able to be there for the public that truly needs it. There's a lot of people, a lot of students that rely on the service daily. We understand that. We just want to make it the best that we possibly can and modernize it a little bit more than what we currently have, where staff's doing a great job doing that. And we will reach out to neighborhoods and find out, not just in those areas, but in all different areas. Maybe not all at once, but Laredo has grown quite a bit. We want to hear from the public, see what their demand, their wishes are.
Mayor.
Yeah.
I appreciate that, RJ. I am concerned about the fact that we've had this discussion before. As far as I'm gonna go back to Green Ranch, right? Because I remember that they didn't have the service, and we've talked about doing surveys to the neighborhoods. I've asked how El Metro's doing surveys, and you'll do a survey and you'll get 200 responses and go off that. And I questioned that last time, saying, how could you, because the number was a ridership of 10,000. So if you have a ridership of 10,000, why are you only getting 200 responses? Then my question was, are you having your survey takers sit on the bus and survey them as they're on their way to their destination? And the answer was no, we interview them while they're, in between their hectic time, basically, of going to getting on the bus, which of course nobody's gonna have time to talk to you when they're trying to get on the bus and they're about to sit there for like an hour. Especially if they're going to the south, that's the perfect time for you to interview them. So as far as the surveys go, it is disappointing that there hasn't been more of an outreach. And then the cashless thing, or the electronic, we brought that up like 4 years ago. I remember bringing that up 4 years ago when I first came on council, 5 years ago even. So I understand you're putting it in a slideshow, but at this point it should have already been implemented.
We're able to implement it now because of the new buses that we purchased, that you all purchased, right? The 19, and we changed out all the equipment from the older units, and we introduced a new fare box system that will allow us to do those things. The others, the old one system was outdated. We weren't able to do that at that point. But with this one, we are going to be able to move into that.
Mayor, I have a
Yes.
question. So this was a presentation, right? But it says here that you're have an efficiency review. So do you have data that actually shows us all these numbers, like efficiency study type numbers? And then I remember one time you had suggested looking into the efficiency of possibly for us to look at taking the operations internal as a department. I remember that conversation.
Yes.
So do we have any of that data that we can see in a report? Because this is just a presentation. So
I can go ahead and email it to you, but I do have a copy of it. If you want, I can.
is it just numbers or is it methodology as well?
It's based on the 2020 census.
Okay, but that's not an efficiency study. I mean, we can get that too, but Do you have like the actual efficiency study that you use to base your presentation off of?
Yes, we do have it actually. We will actually email it to you guys. I believe that it was already mailed to you guys. I don't know if you guys received it. It was back in June. It was sent out the efficiency
In
plan.
June?
Yes,
Of last year?
yes,
And we're barely getting the presentation in March because we get a lot of emails.
yes.
I think it would have been better if we could get a refresher
Yeah,
and
we
get a
definitely-
so we can
yes.
see that.
Yeah, we have
And
that ready.
I'm not sure if that study has all those components to it that I asked about, but we had
Pretty much
talked
in that
a
one,
lot
we
about
have a lot of that
efficiency.
information there.
Okay, I just want to make sure we have that because I don't want to approve cutting routes until we've exhausted all options.
Yes.
Thank you.
Thank you. Next item.
We didn't.
No, no action.
No action taken on this?
All right, so.
Action. RJ, did you need us to approve 103 to continue with this performance and operational efficiency review? Or?
But we had it in there in case you wanted to take action at this time. That's why we had that item in there to discuss and consider the efficiencies that we're recommending.
Next meeting, can you bring it back to us, the
But we
efficiency
can bring
study,
it
right,
back
and then
with-
we'll go and
with
get that. So
additional-
no action will be taken right now.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, then I'll go. Yeah, we'll do it like that. All right.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Appreciate it. Motion to adjourn as Laredo Mass Transit Board and reconvene as Laredo City Council.
Motion second, all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed, motion passes.
We're going to executive session, Mayor.
Yeah, we need to go to executive session, motion?
No, we already motioned it, Mayor. It's already-
Motion,
it's already-
okay.
Yes, sir.
Well, let's do it. Any second? No, we don't
We
need it.
motioned it.
Yeah, we
An
are
hour
doing,
ago.
okay. Executive session. Back to the executive session, no agreements were done.
Mayor, motion for number 8, no action, well, no motion necessary, no action taken on number 8. On number 100 for staff to proceed, or motion for staff to proceed as directed.
Second. Motion second, all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed, motion passes.
Mayor, motion, I'm sorry, go ahead.
Motion to table number 86.
Second.
Second.
86, motion second, all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed, motion passes.
Mayor, motion to bring up your items, your communication, and my items as well, and mine are time sensitive. Number 111 and 112, sir.
All right, motion?
Oh, Mayor, my item, it's been 4 meetings in a row, please.
All right.
What number is that?
113.
To include number 113 as well.
Okay. Start with communications number 8.
Mayor, we need a motion. The motion, the second.
Okay, we have a motion and a second, all in favor?
Aye. The
Communication.
table we already voted on. Yes, table 86, yes.
All right. All right. Number 8, communications. Presentation by Mayor, providing general comments on city matters, upcoming initiatives, and other relevant updates for the council and the public. The announcements include, we will be having a school forum meeting with the parents at Mary Help as a continuation for safety initiative on the 24th to discuss what we can dialogue about what we're seeing in our community when it comes to youth crime, especially as it relates to the trend we're seeing with gun violence. These events do not happen by chance. It is created through multiple things happening in our community, like a lack of adequate supervision or active role models, unlocked firearms, and glorification of this type of behavior, to name a few. And number 9, as we move to the next Harvard Bloomberg Leadership Program focusing on large-scale negotiation geared towards city leaders. This new program will combine rigorous hands-on work and real-time focus on critical negotiation challenge facing our cities. We'll announce the acceptance into the program in the next couple of weeks. However, I did want to recognize the city officials in their selection and participation in the last Harvard Bloomberg Leadership Program. Mr. Joe Nebb, City Manager, Vanessa Perez, District 7, Council Member, Steve Landine, Assistant City Manager, Joel Valdez Jr., Assistant City Manager. I want to thank you for taking time off your schedule, especially to finish this program as an alumni, and continue to participate in the course offerings as they become available. And to speak on number 10, update of status of previous effluent water actions related to Lake Casablanca and any matters related thereto, I wanted to touch base, since I brought up this agenda item on 7/22/24, and then Commissioners Court took it out on 9/23/24. For the public side, this item was to store the water that the city was purging from the pipes, which at that time was 30 million gallons a month, and the water rights that sometimes we did not collect because we did not have storage capabilities. So the water, this was water we were losing. I thought that Casablanca was a potential site, and at that time, I was trying to get the city to take advantage of the fact that Congressman McQuay had funds for dredging under the Water Resources Development Act. A status update on the installation and request for city flag pole. This responds to the public inquiry on the 308-foot flagpole that was removed from the PNC building on the 600 block of Matamoros Street. This was bank property, and it was sold, and the pole was also sold, which originally $300,000 it took to build. Now, according to what I'm being told, that this is one of the tallest flagpoles in the U.S., and the Mexican flagpole across the river is one of the tallest in Mexico. So I believe it should be looked at, and I did present the idea when I was in Washington, D.C., to be presented to the president, where the federal government could install it on city property. We'll keep the public informed. Report from the Border Wall Advisory Committee Chairman regarding the recent committee meetings. I had a chance to speak to the chairman, Steve Landin, and I was giving an update on some of the issues that were raised associated with the information presented at the last meeting with regards to the federal government's plan for the buoy system in our area. We have had a chance to discuss what the next appropriate step would be with our attorneys from Jackson Walker. I do want it to go on record that the city of Laredo understands the importance of border security, and we respect the role of the federal government in protecting our nation. However, we must be very clear about the fundamental responsibility that we have as the mayor and local leaders. It is protecting the health and safety of our residents. And if necessary, the proper emergency declaration will be made. And for the same reason, the discussion of the buoy system is wholly appropriate for the mayoral ad hoc committee to discuss in their advisory capacity. For Laredo, the Rio Grande is not just a border, it's our primary source of drinking water. Any project that alters the river must be carefully studied to ensure it does not jeopardize our water supply on the long-term sustainability of the river system. With regards to the damage to the international bridges, recent discussions with the city consultant that building our international bridges do not feel that these buoys pose a risk to these infrastructure, but we're going to look at the data, any data and schematics as it is made available. So more discussion needed pending to the installation of these floating buoys in the Rio Grande, which does raise legitimate questions from our community, scientists, and environmental experts. We need clear answers how these structures might affect water intake system, river flow during floods, and environmental balance that supports both sides of the border. But I need to be very clear. This is not opposing security measures. It is about ensuring that security efforts do not unintentionally threaten the water source for more than 250,000 people in our community. We will continue working with the U.S. Corps of Engineers, federal agencies, regional stakeholders to obtain the data necessary to make responsible decisions. And our positions are simple. Protect border security, protect Rio Grande, protect the drinking water of the people of Laredo. Until we have complete transparency and scientific certainty that the city will continue advocating for careful review and responsible planning. Because when it comes to water supply, we cannot afford to get it wrong.
Mayor, may I?
Now, let me just continue here. General Council discussing presentations, 104, discussion with possible action regarding the issuance of requests for proposal, RFPs, and design services for the expansion of the James Sauter Arena and Convention Center, and any matter related thereto.
Second.
Motion second. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion passes. Now, the reason we brought this up, Laredo is a growing city and a global gateway for trade, culture, and tourism. As the largest inland port in the United States and a community for more than 250,000 people, we must continue investing in infrastructure that supports economic development and the quality of life for our residents. One of the key investments is the development of a convention center. And for many years, businesses and organizations have expressed interest in bringing conferences, trade shows, and large meetings to Laredo. Unfortunately, we often do not have a single facility large enough to accommodate those events. As a result, we sometimes have to rely on universities, schools, or multiple locations to hold gatherings that other cities can accommodate in one place. The modern convention center will allow Laredo to attract visitors, conventions, and business opportunities. These events being economic benefits for our hotels, restaurants, and small businesses, and transportation services. In other words, a convention center is not just a building, it's an investment in tourism, jobs, and economic growth for the entire community. And from a practical standpoint, expanding around the James Sauter Arena makes a great deal of sense. The area is already a city-owned facility built on approximately 25 acres, and it has proven to be a successful venue for concerts, sports, graduations, and large community events. Because the city already owns land adjacent to the arena, expanding there could be one of the most cost-effective solutions. By utilizing existing property and infrastructure, parking, utilities, road accesses, and proximity to hotels and the airport, we reduce the need for costly land acquisition and new infrastructure. In addition, placing a convention center next to the arena creates a true entertainment and event district, alongside nearby hotels, restaurants, and facilities like Unitrade Stadium. This kind of cluster allows to host multiple events at once and create destination experiences to our visitors. Our goal is simply to build smartly, responsibly, and strategically by expanding near the arena and leveraging property that the city already owns. We can maximize our investment while minimizing unnecessary costs to the taxpayer. And ultimately, this project is about preparing Laredo for the future, strengthening our economy, attracting visitors, and ensuring the city continues to grow and thrive. So my motion is to instruct management to begin the process of requests for proposal, that's RFPs, and design services for the expansion of James Sauter Arena and now Convention Center.
Second.
Motion second.
Mayor, may I?
All in favor? Go
Mayor,
ahead.
thank you. Regarding the request for proposals, is our engineering department in agreement with this? Are we on the time frame proposed by them? Or in accordance with them?
Mayor and City Council, we'll put together that data. I'm not sure exactly where we're all at. I do know that the arena expansion, including the convention center, is on our CIP. And we've been able to confirm that as well too. So let me pull together for that, because one of the things that we're making sure that everybody that you've asked me to work on is kind of a three-step process of it within our planning, because we want to make sure that the funding is available to get there. So we will start putting that information together.
Mayor, I'm sorry, just to request then,
Go ahead.
following Mr. Nebb's recommendations, because in my reading of this, a request for proposal is very specific, and it's to ask for already the contracts to come in, and we don't have that scope of work yet. But I think maybe amending the motion to develop that scope of work so that we could then move forward for a request for proposal? Because I don't think the engineering department has a request for proposal information to be able to lend.
Well, and Mayor
at
and
this
City
time.
Council, the nice thing is that even if we go down the RFP process, we're still going to bring it back to you and say, this is the data and this is what we need to have. So in my mind, I can take this directive and I can move from that in order to put together a request for proposal. And if I have any problem getting it there, because you as a body would actually say, yes, we're ready to go. For that. And so I'll bring it forward to that, and then we'll make some adjustments at a later date, so.
Okay, go ahead.
If I could just add that this goes well with the project finance zone that we're pursuing with the state legislature. Senator Zaffarini's already drafted the legislation. We've already done a resolution. I believe you've signed it already, Mayor. Webb County's gonna do a similar resolution. We're waiting on the economic impact study to get started, Mr. Neb. That was the other third things that Senator Zaffarini wanted?
Yeah, and we were preparing the data that was going to be needed in order to go out and do that.
Okay, and she's prepared to enter that in January of '27, which would allow us to keep a significant portion of the sales tax that goes back to the state of Texas, for us to keep it here, outside of our 2%, locally.
Economic development was working on the scope of that one.
Yeah, and,
All right.
Yeah.
All right. So we have a motion and a second. All in favor? Aye. Opposed? Motion passed. Number
Mayor,
105.
Mayor, may I ask, because you already mentioned the Riverfront Advisory Committee and you spoke about the buoys, and we know that the Riverfront Advisory Committee has looked for an expansion of their scope. And if you'll allow, I'd like to move that we go forward. We do have Martin Castro and Hector Alanis and Ricardo de Anda from that committee to be able to explain the expansion of scope.
Okay, let me just finish up with the agenda.
Well,
with
we
my
have,
items here.
Mayor, point of order, we also already voted for the other items to come up as well.
All right. So 105 and all that.
105, then we have
Okay. All right.
the other three from there.
Okay. All right.
while we're at it, your motion to extend the meeting to 11.
Second.
A motion, second, all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion passed. Okay, which item did I have?
You're on 105A, Mayor.
105A, all right. All right, 105A, discussion with possible action regarding collaboration with Office of Congressman Henry Cuellar on a potential federal partnership projects, including development of an improvement of Laredo animal care facilities. I know that Dr. Chamberlain has been involved in some discussions with the various equipment and needs that the city has at our animal care facilities, not limited to desperately needed spay and neuter services to control the alarming animal population in the city, which is costing the city millions of dollars to mitigate. So my motion on this item would be to instruct management to have a stakeholder meeting and coordinate with Congressman Cuellar's office to line up the appropriate earmark with the associated needs.
Second.
Motion second. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion passes.
You're on C now, sir.
C. Okay. Where's number C? Number C, improvements and enhancement to downtown street Augustine Center. No. Is that it?
Yes, downtown Augustine.
Yeah, that's the one. Improvements and enhancement to downtown San Agustin Plaza and any matters related thereto. Downtown Laredo, in my opinion, is the heart of our city, and San Agustin Plaza is one of the most historic and minimal spaces. As a city, we're committed to improving and revitalizing this area so it continues to attract visitors, support local businesses, and showcase the culture and history that make Laredo special. By enhancing the plaza and surrounding downtown district, we can reduce crime, create a more welcoming destination for tourism and community events, while highlighting landmarks like San Agustin Cathedral that make our historic district unique. At the same time, we're advocating for greater cross-border connectivity with our city, Laredo. One exciting opportunity is working towards allowing the passenger train that operates there to eventually cross into downtown Laredo. Bringing passenger rail directly into our historic district would create a new gateway for visitors and strengthen tourism and economic activity. Laredo has always been a city that connects people and cultures. By investing in our downtown and advocating for projects like passenger rail, we're building a stronger, more vibrant future for our community. I want to thank Congressman Cuellar with this proposed earmark, so my opinion would be to instruct management to coordinate with the Congressman's office and align the improvements with the appropriate funds.
That's your motion, Mayor?
That's a motion.
I will second that motion.
Okay, motion second. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion passed.
Mayor, number 111, discussion with possible action to authorize the use of the James Auto Arena for the 13th annual Driscoll Health Plan Back to School Health Fair taking place on July 15, 2026, and any matters incident thereto, co-sponsored by Mayor Pro Tem Gilbert Gonzalez and Councilmember Ricardo Rick Garza.
Motion second. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion passes.
Number 112, Mayor, discussion with possible action on hosting the 6th Annual Family Night Under the Stars, an overnight camping event on April 10th, not the 9th, that's going to be amended. April 10th through the 11th, 2026 at Jovita Hidalgo Park, as authorized under Section 21-272A2 and 3 of the City Code and any event incident thereto, sponsored by Councilmember Ricardo Ricarza.
Motion second. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion passes.
Mayor, item 113, this is just an update from Ms. Bluestone, probably your least favorite person on this planet, I'm sorry. Yes, stayed till 11 for I think 4 meetings in a row, so.
All right.
But I appreciate you. Can you just quickly update us on kind of the issue probably on the north side and South Laredo with Councilman Gonzalez? We get probably the #1 complaint lately has been the issue with the, just continued worsening situation with the wild hogs tearing up yards, causing thousands of dollars of damage. Could you give us an update on the plan that we're looking forward to kind of addressing this?
Yes. For the record, Lauren Bluestone, Laredo Animal Services. We were asked to do an RFQ for a company that could mitigate these types of situations. We have done so. We have kind of vetted this company. The next step would be to go into contract negotiations. It's both lethal and non-lethal methods. It would be lethal for the hogs, the feral hogs, which is certainly legal, but for the javelinas, because of the restrictions, it would be the contraceptive, where they would have bait stations and stuff like that. The company has had past experience in this, and we're very comfortable with this company, but there's 2 more steps. One is a negotiation, and the other is where is this funding coming from?
Yeah, and Mayor, I mean, this calls, I think you know, Mayor, you probably get calls as well about this, just costing people thousands and thousands of dollars. And it's just, as we grow, it's just really unfortunate that, obviously we're invading their space as well, but the people can't live like this. I get complaints every single day. So do we have a rough estimate on the cost? Can you bring it back to us so we can try to budget it in this upcoming fiscal year, or what would be the?
I mean, I can give you what I think the cost would be. It's up to you guys. Or I can go back, negotiate.
Maybe not in public. We don't do that. Just can you? My motion would be that you initiate, management and staff initiate negotiations and bring us back plans for cost and possible revenue sources and/or budgeting planning for fiscal year 27.
I'll second for discussion.
Motion second.
Mayor, can I ask a question?
Yes.
So, Zone, this is a legal question. It's my understanding that these wild animals belong to the property owner. If they're on their property, like their undeveloped property, it's their animals, correct? Is that technically correct?
Not necessarily. I mean, if they're like feeding them, it'd be different. But if they're just traversing, it'd be.
Well, because my question is going to be: is there a way for us to require property owners to fence their property to contain the animals, even when they're developing? Because what happens is they start developing, and then all the animals just start running everywhere. There's no containment. Is it the landowner's responsibility to kind of manage these animals versus letting them run wild all over the city? Is there some way to kind of maybe we could approach this for the ones that already exist, but moving forward, is there a way to require some kind of fence around property to require them to contain the wild animals before they start invading their habitat and then deal with them themselves as part of the development process? Is that appropriate at all?
I'll look into that. But I'm not
expand
quite sure about the facts as far as like to
expand on it, that if there is still undeveloped land within the ETJ.
Yeah.
Right.
Can we allow, by ordinance, put a pig fence because remember, you're asking what wildlife to coexist with new development. And I think it's not a bad idea to consider figuring out a way to protect those people that are being, their property's being damaged by this. And it keeps us out of the loop over here because it's gonna cost us thousands of dollars to maintain something that in my mind, and we said this last year, that I think is something that Texas Parks and Wildlife should be doing, not us. So it's just something that we really need to take a good look at it because for Dr. King's district, they're developing, is expanding more and more into wildlife country. So I think it might be a good idea to revisit that ordinance.
Yeah, we will do that. We'll work with,
Mayor Pro Tem, may I?
this one.
Sure.
Thank you. Considering that, what Councilmember Garza is proposing, then we do need to realize that the city will also be on the hook for fencing. So we have wildlife javelinas that are living in the Chacon Creek corridor. And so development up north, upstream, is pushing those animals to neighborhoods in my area. And those animals are finding ways to cause destruction and chaos to people who are in older homes who live right by Chacon Creek. So if we're gonna move forward with asking for fencing from property owners, it's also gonna impact the city.
Sure. Let me explore this and see the parameters, if I may.
Yeah, so long as it just doesn't.
Sure.
I think, Don, it's important to distinguish between developing and not developing, right? Because if we just have animals that come onto our land and go off, that's different from, you have a piece of land with habitats and now you're, flattening that land and then you're not containing these animals or making any effort to rehabilitate them, like find a new place for them, then maybe there's a program we can implement or something then along the line, so, what she's trying to do.
Ms. Bluestone, may you please copy Commissioner Ana Galo with Texas Parks and Wildlife? I know they were very receptive to programs such as these to help the city of Laredo last time we were in Austin. So please copy her with the plan you may have.
Just so you know, a member of the staff of the agency that we asked is part of Texas Parks and Wildlife as well. So.
Yes.
And a second?
There's a second already? Oh, yes, a second. There's a motion and a second. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. Thank you.
Mayor, motion to approve appointments to commissions, boards, and committees.
There's a motion.
Second.
And a second. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries.
Mayor
Mayor,
Pro Tem, may I?
I'm sorry, before we get into, just the council to introduce number 23, 24, and 25, no motion necessary to do so. And then a motion to approve the consent agenda 43 through 97, with the exception of 87, because that's already been approved.
And exception 48 and 96, please.
48, 96.
Second that.
But I would like to do,
Okay, can you repeat the numbers again, please? For the
Yes, the entire consent agenda is going to be from 43 to 97, correct?
minus 48, 96.
Minus 48, 96.
48 and what?
86 was tabled?
86 was tabled and 87 was already heard.
86 was tabled already.
86
Right.
was tabled.
86 was tabled already? Yes.
Where's 96?
Okay, there's a motion and a second. What about it?
Have we pulled that one out?
No, do you need to get that one out? We discuss, we discussed, okay, we'll take out that 50 as well.
Okay, it's 50 as well.
Motion second.
There's a motion and a second. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Sure.
23, 24, 25, yeah. The intro ordinance only.
Okay.
Yeah, we don't need a motion.
We have
They're just intros, 23, 24, 25. Yeah, that's just, yeah.
All right, all in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed?
We're on 48.
So motion carries. Item number 48, discussion with possible action to approve the proposed design as one of the official designs to be adopted and utilized by the city of Laredo for various municipal and community-related purposes.
Hello, Ms. Ramos.
Hi, good afternoon.
So I've asked to look at this because it seems to me that the proposed designs, it's very limited in what it is, and it also is very similar to the District 7 logo. And so while it is a cute design, I don't know if it meets the standards of being utilized as an official city logo, and so I want to know your reasons for proposing it.
So we're not proposing this as a city logo. This is, and I'm working together with PIO. We're working on a brand guideline system, a process. This is the first step, or one of the first steps in the process, and it is including the different designs. So this is not necessarily a logo, because it includes a logo of the Laredo, Texas. It's a design. And so what we are looking for is including all these different designs that are used in the city to be approved and go through a process so that they can be used in different items, different uses, basically. So it is not to be approved as the official logo for the city. It's just to be approved as a design that it can be used in different uses. And with the understanding that we are working on, this is an interim procedure, applies to proposed designs intended for placement on city facilities, infrastructures, or assets, including but not limited to public buildings, park features, water towers, gateway signage, municipal fleet vehicles, banners, and other prominent community-related uses. So it is not, the approval is not for it to be the city logo or the Visit Laredo logo.
Right, so, but you're suggesting that there will be a multi-step process to make the determination? So why are we making the determination for this design if it has not gone through this proposed process? Shouldn't we vote on the process first and then bring this back for review?
The process is in the works, so we don't have the process yet.
Okay.
However, there was a request to bring this
Mayor Pro
item.
Tem, if I may.
Sure, go ahead.
So, Utilities is working on one of the water towers. And in the past, we've put different designs up that aren't official of anything. And so it was either gonna say City of Laredo or it's located in District 7. So part of the idea was, since this design has been used in District 7 and has been paid for by the city, we wanted to see if council would consider making an official design so we can paint the tower as quick as possible and get that up and running. Because then it won't be able to do the tower anytime soon.
Well, I think at issue is just this idea that because it's so closely associated with a logo that is specific to a particular person for District 7, that it doesn't seem, I don't mean to suggest it's not ethical, but if we're following guidelines that kind of separate official city business from the personalities that sit on council, I think we do need to be very careful about what we're placing on a city facility. You know, in District 2, before Councilmember Rangel came in, we had Councilmember Rodriguez. And in that case, it was blatant, right? It was a picture of his face on public facilities, on a basketball court and on the scoreboard at a public park. And I do think it just engenders kind of this idea in the public that council members live kind of in their own little fiefdom. And I think we just need to be very careful about that. And so I believe that this process is a great idea so that it goes through a multi-step process and we can prove to the public that this isn't a one-off, that it isn't, you know, based on one personality, that it actually has gone through and we've had different departments look at it and they have approved it. But doing it in this manner seems to me to risk losing that public trust of how we determine, you know, what should be on our public facilities.
Mayor, if I may.
Sure, go ahead.
So I think if you look at what has been painted on water towers, we've had school logos painted on our city water towers. We've had all kinds of designs, public art, painted all over under bridges and you name it. We've had all kinds of art painted everywhere. The simplest thing for these companies to do is paint a logo. And, the city logo is a little bit intricate in the colors and the design, that it's a little bit beyond the scope of, like, the standard what's included in these water tower packages or whatever. The logo for District 7 was created because at the time, there was pushback on us using our names, so we created logos for the districts. And since then, other districts have created their own logo. The logo does not include the name of the council member. It is a logo, and you see the whole I love, you name it, I love is there. And the logo includes a heart that has, half of it is a truck, is a road with a truck, because Laredo has a lot of trucks and we're like the largest port. So the idea that I've heard from others is just to use that heart for I Love Laredo, and that's where, you know, we have this pin, we have pins, we have things that we've made. And so it's not related to me, it's the district, and people in District 7 associate with that logo because that was the way it was designed originally, was that the district carries the logo, not the council members. So I don't see a problem with it. I know there was an issue with the colors, because in some of them I have kind of the colors that I use for my campaign, but the intention on this one would be more neutral, you know, red and blue, or like red, you know, other colors that are more appropriate, I guess, for like the city or whatever. But Dr. Marte, when he was on council, had an I Love Laredo design ready to go for one of his water towers. So it's kind of the same thing. It's not intended to be representative of any one person. And so I don't see an issue.
Mayor Pro Tem, I'll share a little bit more. I may reiterate some of it as well too. The challenge we have is that we have this water tower, and it has been cleaned and updated. So before we fill it up, we can't paint it after we fill it up because the condensation will not allow it. That's why there's this sense of urgency on this. What I would ask, I mean, we can separate out the two items from the utility and the idea of creating these designs, but I think the challenge we have, and I did talk with some of you today about this as well too, we don't have a procedure in place as to how to deal with these things, and that's a challenge. I would also state that the difference between what happened with District 2 before, that was a physical representation of that council member rather than a logo of this nature. And so there is a difference between those structures as well too. But if you wanted to hold on this one, we still need a decision on the tank itself, because it needs to be completed and brought up. So what we thought would be the best way was to bring forward our analysis of how we want to determine these things in the future, including tonight, and move forward with finishing off the painting of that water tower. Right now, we can do the water tower at no additional cost based upon what was there to what we're actually recommending.
Mayor Pro Tem. So if this design were not to move forward, what would the design be? What process was there to determine what the design would normally be?
Mayor Pro Tem, there is no process in place for this. I was told 3 years ago that the director would choose on their own in order to put whatever on there. But I do know, if you go back even farther, there have been, the council has gotten involved in what they're going to put on the water tanks at the time when we clean them off.
Well, I think that is the point.
That's the challenge we have.
Right, that's how the personal logo ended up at the field, the Freddie Benavides field, is because it was directed by the council member, right? And I'll just reiterate that I do think that a process is important, but if we're going to establish one, then we kind of need to follow it. So this is continuing how it was done before versus having a standard in place. And again, it's a reflection of public trust. How do we make this as objective as it can be?
I would argue that the reason we're here having this conversation is because we are trying to change the process. And we actually, and so that's where we're at with that background and the information, so.
Yeah, go ahead, Councilman.
Yes, thank you. Does this item have to be approved for the approval of the water tower?
Well, I would say because of the use of the water.
We need to finish the work on the water
Correct, but I'm
tower
saying, does this,
before
but could that, not move forward, approving the design specifically for the water tower? And maybe considering different colors?
We need to have a design on the water tower if we're going to put a design on it. We need to do it before we fill it.
Correct, but why does this have to be approved through CBB?
The CBB, their portion of this conversation is developing out a process in order to do this the same way every time we talk in it, rather than to put you at a speed of surprise.
Right, Mayor, Pro Tem Mayor?
Sure.
Just a question, please. This was a designed by the city?
Yes, sir.
Is that correct? The city of Laredo designed this?
Yes.
Okay. And then second, I was called 2.5 years ago to do the tower at the base, and what I wanted on that tower. And for me, it was a bulldog because, well, I represent, Alexander High School. So I think if it's not anything political and it's not representing me, my bald head there, I think it should be okay. That's just my opinion. So I motion to approve.
There's a motion and a second, all in favor?
Yeah,
Sure,
just
still
one more
discussion,
thing on that.
Councilmember Garza.
Well, and the confusing part, I guess here, Mr. Neb, is that since it wasn't asked for approval from the last councilman to do that, that they didn't have to go through this process of getting an approval here, why are we doing that now? Is it because it's, you all bringing it forward to us? Because the notion that I love Laredo, I mean, it didn't start here, it started in New York. I love New York, this is how it started. So, I'm just not understanding the process, why they're having to, bring it to us, rather than just say, Vanessa, Ms. Pettis, what do you want up there?
I guess well, and on the water tower itself, if the decision of the council is that the council member that has the water tower in their district has the ability to choose the logo or the design, I'm sorry. I've been told not to call it the logo as well too. Because it is more of a design, because the logo is our logo. But because, and so that's what we're asking as well too, is that because we want a system in place so that there is no confusion going forward.
Well, so my point from there would be that then, if this was the way to change the system by this method right now, then either we stick to this or we go back to the other system. Because this is just, in my mind, not a well thought out process to get this thing done. It should have just been done.
What I would recommend is one of two things to happen is that this item here that we're talking about right now, this could actually wait and have a longer conversation.
Mayor Pro Tem, that sounds like a great idea. We have a lot of things we're pending to do. I think
But
I'm gonna call for the question, we have a motion and a second, thank you for your comment.
All in favor?
The logo was showing so that you could see why I brought it in.
Yeah, but the colors can be changed.
Got a motion and a second.
There's a motion and a
Yeah.
second, all in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion passes. We got two opposed, or one?
I just request that if the colors could be
Changed.
considered.
Is that gonna be an amendment?
No, that's fine.
I think it's understood.
Understood?
Yes.
Okay, so motion passes.
Okay.
Make
Number
a
50,
motion to
Mayor Pro Tem,
table it.
table number 50,
Yes.
yeah. I'll second the motion.
I'd like to talk about that.
It's motion and second for a table, no discussion after the second.
We'll talk
The
about it
motion and a
next time.
second, all in favor?
Aye.
Okay, we
Any
already-
opposed?
It's
Any
federal
opposed?
dollars, guys.
Well, there's no
There's
discussion.
no discussion.
Next item.
We can have a team.
Next item.
Can we get a roll
We
call?
already motioned.
Can we have a
Yes, we may have a roll call. But we still haven't voted. So there's
Yeah, we did. It was
we have a motion and a second, all in
For a
favor?
table, right, exactly.
To table.
to
Okay.
table it.
To table.
If that's the case, the motion to table, the answer is why? Table it.
Staff asked, yes.
50, number 50. Yeah.
Yes, because contingent, there's no discussion on it, and it's motion, it's been seconded.
There's a motion and a second, all in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion passes.
Could we roll call it, please?
Yes, we're gonna roll call.
Number
Yes,
50.
number 50.
If we could roll call the vote.
Can we put that on the next agenda for discussion?
Yes, sure.
Mr. Knapp, you put that on the next.
This is
Yes, sir.
crazy.
Mayor Pro Tem, point of order. There is a deadline for tomorrow, and so if it's not approved, we'll probably lose the grant. Correct?
Mayor Pro Tem,
Mayor Pro Tem, why did staff?
Mayor Pro Tem,
Because
I'll
we're
answer
waiting
that
for Webb
question
County
as well,
to address
too.
the issue.
Because we have not been able to confirm that Webb County is going to provide their portion of the funds. If we accept the grant, then we don't know if we will have all of the funding in order to do the
We
project.
also don't know if we're gonna get reimbursed.
So we just need to have an answer. So if you are to choose based upon this timeline, then we need to have the caveat that we can actually have a further discussion, because we will be $2 million short if the county chooses not to participate.
And when does the county meet?
So Mayor Pro Tem, we do have an update on that. They did agree, but with saying that they wanted to pay the 2 million over 3 years to pay it. So we have to come up with the money initially, if council wants. That's why we wanted to discuss it. Tomorrow's the deadline. They just met, I think, this past week, and we didn't have time to put it on the agenda until this meeting. So we did try to put it as soon as we could,
Mayor Pro
once
Tem,
we officially got notice from
We would
them.
ask for a contingency of.
Yeah, so you take it off the table and, vote to approve contingent, on.
That's what the item
Motion to remove, motion to rescind the table.
There's a motion and there's a second to rescind. All in favor? Aye. Any opposed? Motion carries.
So
Okay, so
back
now
on the
we're gonna
table.
bring
Now
out.
we're discussing.
I'd like to move that we accept it with the contingency of accepting the 3-year payment if our legal or finance department agrees. Is that a good contingency? So that we can move forward with this federal grant that we requested and we have been awarded.
And I also would like to, if I may, Mayor.
If there's
Go
a second,
ahead.
can we hear if there's a
Second
second? Thank you,
discussion.
thank you.
There's a second discussion. Go ahead, Council.
To verify that we're gonna actually get reimbursed, cause we have to put the money out and then we have to get reimbursement. So we have to come up with the $8 million and then rely on the federal government to reimburse us. So I think we also need to add that in there to make sure that we're gonna get that money back before we go out and spend $8 million on it.
And will we have an answer, staff, by tomorrow?
We'll do the contingency on all of them.
On all of them.
Okay, sure, sounds good. All right. So
Motion and second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Item number 50 passes.
Mayor, if I may?
Sure.
Mr. Neb, in the future, when there's a time-sensitive item, if there's a way for you guys to designate that on the agenda, because we went through the whole evening talking about all kinds of logos and stuff, and then there was like a crucial item on here, and we didn't find out till 10 minutes before the end of the night.
Yes, ma'am.
We're on number 96.
Thank you.
Is that correct?
96.
Item number 96, consideration to award service contract RF B 2026-045 to the lowest responsible bidder, Murphy Pipeline Contractors, Sunrise, Florida, in the amount of $11,153,320 for the waterline installation by pipe bursting and/or horizontal directional drilling, HDPE, for the Utilities Department. Estimated time for completion of this project is 220 working days. Funding is available in the Waterworks Fund -2024 Water Revenue Bond.
A move,
And,
There's a motion
and I will second.
yes,
And
for
there's a
discussion.
for
And-
discussion.
And we'll just have a brief presentation. The reason why I asked to be pulled is so that so maybe in 2 sentences, and I really apologize for this, Dr. Elizabeth, I think you should be, this is an exciting time for our public to understand that we've moved forward with our aging infrastructure replacement, and this is just the next step in that. Thank you.
I'll be very brief. So again, the stats in front of you, that's phase one. That one is almost done. You can see that we're 95% below ground in terms of the pipelines and the percentages of each line, in terms of pipe pass, how much installed, water services and all of that, and how much asphalt restoration. So remember, you install this underground, and then you put the water service, and then the pipe pass, and the last piece is the restoration. So we're in very good shape. We finished the first batch. We spent around 14 million. We covered 40,000 line feet. And now the second phase now, and these are pictures of the areas per district. I have a 300 megabyte file that I can show you per map for each district where the area, we can share that with you as a printout, maybe later on or upon request.
Yes, please.
Absolutely. And the last one, I think the next one is, which I don't know why that's not working now anymore. Okay. This is the last piece I want to show you. This is phase 2. That's another 41,000 lines, feet of lines in different districts. We're moving to second phase. This is the same contractor, which is Murphy Engineering. And we will proceed as scheduled. This today, upon the council approval, will proceed with doing more. We're gonna improve the process, make it more deal with the issues that sometimes we've seen before, not leave things behind. And we're again open to areas where we see if we haven't covered that through this initial list, we can do more if needed, based on request or based on urgency.
President, thank you. Thank you so much, Dr. Elizabeth. We approve this.
Yes, we have a motion and a
to approve
second.
this item, and please get this out on every PIO possible because it needs to be known to the public to what's happening.
All right, there's some, yeah, thank you.
That's what we need a second.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Motion and a second.
Motion and a second already. All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? Any opposed?
Thank you.
Motion number 96 carries.
Mayor Pro Tem, motion to open the public hearings 12 through 18, planning and zoning and public hearing introducing ordinances, and number 19, 20, 21, and 22. Mr. Joaquin Rodriguez, you need to very quickly, please. Very
There's a
quickly.
motion.
Mayor
Do we have a
Pro
second?
Second.
Yes,
Mayor Pro Tem, number 24 also needs to be read. It's a public hearing of number 24.
number 24 as well. Joaquin. Number 24? I need a second.
Second.
12, okay, 12 and 24, okay, got it.
All right, guys. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. Go ahead, Mr. Rodriguez.
Number 12, public hearing introductory ordinance amending zoning ordinance map City of Laredo by rezoning approximately 8.0432 acres as further described meets and bounds exhibit A located south of Inspiration Parkway and east of Bob Bullock Loop from R2 to B3. The Plan Zoning Commission recommends approval of the proposed zone change. Staff does not support the B3 zoning but will support the B1 zoning district. Number 24, public hearing introductory ordinance authorizing the establishment of fees, terms and conditions of the lease and use of El Metro Park and Ride owned by the City of Laredo and operated by the Laredo National Airport located at 1819 Hillside Road, Laredo, Texas 78041, providing for authority, administration, insurance requirements, operational conditions, and cost recovery, providing for severability, and providing an effective date. Just those two, right?
No.
13, okay. That was number 20, that was number 24. Public hearing introductory ordinance amending zoning ordinance City of Laredo by rezoning lot 1, block 5, River Hill subdivision, phase 1, located at 4401 Nogales Lane from R1MH to R2. The Plan Zoning Commission recommended approval of the proposed zone change. Staff supports the application. Number 14, public hearing introductory ordinance amending zoning ordinance City of Laredo by rezoning approximately 55.27 acre tract as further described meets and bounds exhibit A located south City Tolina Boulevard and west of Cuatro Vientos Road from R1A to R1B. The Plan Zoning Commission recommended approval of the proposed zone change. Staff supports the application. 15, public hearing introductory ordinance amending zoning map City of Laredo by rezoning west 83 feet of lot 7 and 8, block 765 Western Division as further described by meets and bounds in the text exhibit A located 2819 Photos Avenue from R3 to B1. Plan Zoning Commission recommends approval of the proposed zone change and staff supports the application. Number 16, public introductory ordinance amending zoning ordinance map City of Laredo by authorizing the issuance of a conditional use permit by a baseball bat manufacturing woodworking shop on west 83 feet of lot 7 and 8, block 765 Western Division as further described by meets and bounds attached to exhibit A located at 2819 Flores Avenue. The Plan Zoning Commission recommends approval of the proposed zone change, and staff supports the application. 17, public hearing introductory ordinance amending zoning ordinance City of Laredo by rezoning lots 2 and 3, block 7, San Isidro Northeast, Las Palmas subdivision, phase 2, located at 11082 and 1110 Cavatina Drive from R2 to R1B. The Plan Zoning Commission recommends approval of the proposed zone change, and staff supports the application. Number 18, public hearing introductory ordinance amending zoning ordinance City of Laredo by rezoning lot 6 and the east half of lot 5, block 92, each division as further described by meets and bounds in the text exhibit A located at 720 Laredo Street from B1 to B3. The Plan Zoning Commission recommends approval of the proposed zone change, and staff supports the application. Keep going.
Yes. All right. You want me to
19.
approve 12 to 18?
Yes, that's 12 to 18.
Okay.
All right, number 12, for against, for against, for against.
Close introduce. Motion to close introduce.
There's a motion and a second. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. Number 13, for against, for against, for and against.
Motion to close introduce.
There's a motion
Second.
and a second. All in favor?
Aye.
Motion passes.
Motion passes. Number 14, for against, for against, for against.
Motion to close introduce.
Second.
There's a motion and a second. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. Number 15, Four against, four against, four against.
Motion to close and introduce.
There's a motion and a second. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. Number 16, four against, four against, four against.
Motion to close and introduce. Well, I have a comment.
There's a motion with this discussion.
Yes, I'd like to see if we could amend this to bring back the CUP in 3 years.
What? What was that?
Bring back the CUP in 3 years.
In 3 years.
Second that.
I'll accept the amendment.
There's a motion to the amendment and a second. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. Number 17, four against, four against, four against.
Motion to close and introduce.
Second.
So motion and a second. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. Number 18, four against, four against, four against.
Second.
There's a motion and a second. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries.
Did we approve final reading of ordinances?
Yes. No.
Motion, motion to approve final reading of ordinances.
I'll second.
27 through, 42.
Second.
And I think you wanted to pull one out,
The 36.
except 36. Oh, we're not gonna have to.
These are questions I need to have answered.
All right.
got a
It's
motion?
11 o'clock.
Okay.
I'm gonna have to, motion.
You got 1 minute.
Number 24 was read.
Number 24 was read to the record. Four against?
Motion.
Four against, four against.
Motion to close and introduce.
There's a motion and a second. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries.
11 o'clock.
11 o'clock.
We'll just adjourn, and can we add these items to the Wednesday workshop for final approval and everything?
Motion to adjourn.
We will, if there's no, issues with the posting or anything like that, we will.
Motion to adjourn.
Second.
And there's a second. All in favor? Any opposed? Motion carries. Meeting adjourned.